Hello, hello everyone out there in the warp, and welcome to a Thanksgiving special starring myself and Benosphere. Benosphere, say hello to the folks at home.
That's me. I'm that guy that he just said who I was. That's the guy. I'm him. I'm that guy.
I love leading into your intros because they always make me laugh no matter what they are.
Yeah, I also found the picture that I was looking for. The Star Wars thing we were talking about beforehand.
Oh,
I found it. I still don't know the guy's name. Does okay, all right, okay. I mean, we're gonna wait for people to filter in and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me quickly see if I can just throw this up on screen so people can see it. Yeah. But no, actually, you know what? If I post it in chat,
who made those is.
There we go. We can put it in chat.
Yeah, who made that?
And then let's see. Yeah, I don't know who made it. But
I'm sad. The artist should be famous from those, but like I'm not but the name escapes me. So where's box art artist? Let's just try that.
Yeah.
That'll help.
But yeah, while we're waiting for Hugh, is that his name? Hugh?
Hugh what? No. Oh my god, no.
Well, here's a question though.
I'm losing it.
Yes.
Hold on.
Drew Struzan, maybe?
That's the one. Now we're gaming.
All right, cool.
That's him.
Got it.
Figured it out. All it took was to Google Foo better, and instead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's usually what it is.
Just look up, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've got enough people in here to get started anyway. So here's what's gonna happen. As you can see here to my left, we are going to be going through an old PDF from the 80s called Grimtooth Traps, a Game Master's Aid for all role-playing systems. Now basically what this is it's a collection of 101 traps that can be used in any role-playing system, and we mean any role-playing system. They're still kind of fantasy bent, but you could probably even use these in a sci-fi setting with a little bit of veneer coating. So the way it's going to work is we've each gone through the PDF and we have selected 10 items that we're each going to present to one another. And we'll have discussion and we'll basically yell at each other about why my trap is better than Beno's, and Beno's going to yell at me why I'm full of shit, etc., etc., etc. But
you don't poop enough. You gotta take more. You gotta be more regular, dude. Talking about that fiber. Get it in you. You're literally not. Never takes my advice. Literally tell him all the time. Yo, you gotta eat healthy. You're gonna get that fiber in your body. It's just like literally just. I don't wanna. I like being shitty. I like cramps.
Oh Lord. All right. For you people on Twitch, there are two commands. One is of course !Beno if you want to go check out Beno. And if you also want to check out this PDF on your own in the future, there's !Grimtooth. If you're watching this live on YouTube, well, I'm going to link all that below, so don't worry about that one.
True.
But yeah, let me see. So you want to roll a d20 to see who goes first, or you want to volunteer, or?
I just realized that I don't have my murder one here. Hold on. That's a sick idea. Let's roll a coin. And then if we get the coin on its side, we both have to do the first our first picks together, and it's just gonna be a clusterfuck. And that'll be it. Yeah.
Oh hey, Uncle Corvus. Thanks for the coin. 3. Just roll the coin on its side.
Yeah,
also, actually, AOS. Hey, how you doing?
Eos is the best.
Yeah.
That's not even, you can't debate.
All right, so do we want to do highs, lows for the d20 or the coin? What are we doing?
I will choose the path of the natural one, and you may choose the path of the natural other.
The 20.
There we go. Now okay. I'm more murderous.
There you go. There's the perfect murder, Beno. Love it. Love it. All right, let's see what happens. I got a 13. What did you get?
Oh, was I supposed to?
I thought we were both rolling. Okay, well, I got a 13.
Okay.
So.
No. It's fine. So I'll roll. No. I'll play your game. Okay. All right. Where's my dice? Roll my dice. Hold on. Where is it? Wait. Gaming. I'm gonna go to the one place that people say that the rolling is rigged, and choose the Wizard's dice roller.
Oh God, yeah, that place is rigged.
Is it actually weighted?
I don't think it is, but it feels weighted.
All right, go dice 20. I rolled an 8. You have the higher die.
There we go. Well, I was gonna do it so whoever was closer to their goal. So if you're an 8, you're 8 away, and I'm 7 away. If I can math properly. So
yeah, you are 7 away. Yep.
All right.
Wow, we really. What the hell is wrong with us? We decided to roll. We literally could have done that so much better, and it turned into a You know why? It's because we've been reading this stupid trap fucking book. God damn it. It's making us think in FACO.
It is. It's exactly what it is.
Yes, that was the worst way we could have done that.
Absolute worst way, but we did it anyway. Oh my God. All right.
And I was excited to do it. I'm like, no, you're right. I'll do it.
Oh, we are such boomers. All right. Well, let's start with a very simple trap. And the name of this trap is called Illusions. And for those of you following along at home, I will be updating the list so that okay. All right. I'll have to adjust that. But if you're following along at home, you can enjoy with us if you're in the PDF. But let's see what happens. So, Illusions, page 11. Hey, Shrimpy. Hello, hello. Hopefully you are having a great Thanksgiving. If you do not celebrate Thanksgiving, hope you're having a wonderful day. But yeah, Illusions.
Have a good Thanksgiving anyway.
Just force it on them.
Just have it anyway. Whatever. I'm Canadian. Thanks. Happy Turkey Day to me too.
Nice. All right. So Illusions, I like this one to start off with because it's a very simple one. It gets you into the mindset of the book. So basically Illusions is sort of a room. You walk in, and in the center you see a spike-filled pit. And around this pit, you see walkways to either side of the pit that you conceivably could walk alongside of and skip the pit. But the kicker to this trap is that the visible pit is an illusion, as in it's just a solid floor. Like if you were to try and walk on it, you would, solid floor. The problem though is if you step on the walkways, what happens is when you step to either side, you get flung up via spring trap into spikes in the ceiling.
Oh man, this is one of the ones I didn't read. I hate this immediately.
No, it's one of those gotcha moments where you say, oh, all right, well, we just have to walk around the side. Haha, nope, screw you, you're into the ceiling spikes.
Not only that this is the beginning, and this, honestly, you nailed it on the head. This is exactly, the design and the style of what this book has in store for you. Hi, welcome. Do you like being evil? Do you enjoy not having friends? Do you want to literally piss off absolutely everyone that you could ever play with and have yourself completely abandoned and have no one else come to your house, and or you go to their house, or just interact with another human being? Hi, welcome to this book, the book of bad decisions. Are you into it? Are you into some bad decisions? Come on in, jump on down. Welcome to Grimtooth. Fucking sucker, get ready to get killed. Dick. Yeah, I made it work. Yeah, check that out. It's not a fun trap. Ooh, fun trap for your friends until they walk into it, and then they're done with you. They're finished. Literally, I am trying to imagine the conversation immediately preceding you doing this to people. Like just like this tepid, vile, smirk that you're obviously trying to keep inside of yourself, because you're not trying to give away the gambit. You're not trying to give away the ghost and really reveal your hand and anything towards it there. You're just waiting for them to be okay, well, that's an easy, I'll just walk around on the side.
And you've activated my trap card.
By willingly walking to the side, you forgo your reflex save and instead are immediately kazoopled into the ceiling, where there are 50 spikes, and they also gyrate, and it's also a Gillette razor for some reason, and it turns you to goo, and you come back and are resurrected as a legume. Not a legume. What do they call it? Lemure, and now your friends must fight you. And you're dead and your soul is gone also. All of those things. And then you say that as you smile and laugh and cackle in front of Jeffrey.
Legume, you're a bean.
Oh my god. Well, can't live this down. All right, there it is. Yep,
That's the thing now.
Say one word wrong and that's it. They jump on it. There it is.
That Twitch chat does a very, very good job at that, yeah.
Yep, they love it. Okay.
All right, your turn, Beno. What trap you got for us?
Before I even get to mine, I'm still not. I'm just
you're still not finished. Carry on.
I want you to be in there. No. You're entering this situation right now. You're there. You're the DM. You planned this. You set this up. We'll say Jeffrey walks in, says that they do that. How do you respond? It's like, okay, I'll be Jeffrey.
All right.
Okay. Well. No. Go ahead. Describe the room. Let's play it out. Let's play it out.
Right.
I'm Jeffrey. You're you. Or
all right. So Jeffrey John Man. When you walk into the room, you realize when you look at the floor before you that there is a row of spike after spike after spike, and it's a pretty good distance. You're not gonna be able to jump over this pit of spikes. But as you look closely, there's a walkway to either side of the pit of spikes that you think you could walk along if you were careful about it. Now, the question is, Jeffrey, what would you like to do in this situation? Would you like to, I don't know, go around the side? Would you like to track back and see if there's another way forward? What would you like to do in this room, if anything at all?
I see. So immediately you've planted into my head that going and jumping into the spikes isn't even an option. You're not even presenting me with the possibilities of me doing that. Now I know, as a veteran D&D player, that obviously any option is possible, even a stupid one such as, well, I just leap into the spikes. Laugh track. Your friends are like, dumb. You better not shut up, idiot. You're carrying the fucking sword of power. Don't shoot. Don't fucking jump in.
Jump into the
spikes, or at least toss me the sword, and then you can jump, man. I don't give a shit. So now I am John Jeffrey, John Normington. So I am an average, very normal, somewhat. Maybe this is like my fourth session, experienced player here. So I'm going to look at you. I'm going to trust you. If we have trust that we have built up over time, and I've known that you've been great and that we've had fantastic games so far, up until yesterday, where you started acting weird and you just started having like all these weird smiles that you'd have all the time. You just started like laughing to yourself,
like giggling at you out of the corner of your eye,
just grasping this like weird old completely matte blue book that you got like in some old man's garage, as though it possessed you with the soul of some devious creature, and you've been just acting strange since then. So I'm inclined to trust you, and I'm like, okay, well, obviously I don't want to go into spikes, right? And I can just already see the side of the thing here. Like it just is. I can already see. I didn't have to like roll a check or anything for that. I just see it.
Yeah, you just see it.
It's like, oh, okay. So it's big enough for me to see immediately. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, guys. I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty obvious. It's just I have a feeling that when we come back, we're gonna have to come back here, and we're gonna have to like do this fast, and we might trip and fall into those spikes. So this could get real bad later on. But for now, it should be easy navigation. So we should remember that this room is gonna suck if we have to come back here. And we should probably set up some sort of quick way to not get hurt real bad on our way back. But for now, let's get to the other side, scope it out, make sure everything's safe. Maybe we can put like a rope in the middle or something and then tie it across, and we can just, like Indiana Jones our way back if any monsters get led in here, and they can just fall in the spikes. It'll be funny. So for now, I'm gonna make my way to the other side. I'm gonna take the of course the off ramp, the side corridor, and I'm just gonna make sure that to go and take that side around. So that's gonna be great. Yeah.
Well, John Jeffrey Everyman, when you step onto the side, you find out very quickly that you've activated my trap card, and you go flying into the ceiling and take 63 damage.
But I only have 24 health.
Well, then you're not only dead, you're super dead, meaning that you have to tear up your character sheet, throw it into a blender, and then drink it.
But
those are the rules, Jeffrey. Those are the rules. You agreed to them when you came to this game. Those are the rules.
But the sword of power, I was carrying the sword of power. We need to put that in the end of this dungeon to stop the evil gas that's flowing everywhere.
Well, unfortunately, it seems everyone's going to have to...
Sword of power?
Well, it dies too. It turns into a legume, and the legume is eaten by the big bad evil guy. And the big bad evil guy continues to release his flatulence all over the land, and everyone dies from huffing his farts. Congrats, you failed everyone.
The evil gas was his farts?
Well, yeah, I thought that was obvious.
Yeah, so that would honestly, I'm just imagining that would be awful, dude. It would just suck. Yeah, you just die. You just suck. You've always sucked. And yeah, Dark Shadow Prince, he continues to release his ever farts forever, and the whole world is caked in blackness, an eternal fart cloud, darkness forever, and also flesh, and also really bad smells.
Well, until someone casts Fireball, in which case the entire planet blows up, and then we just start at square zero.
Ah, yes, of course. Unless, of course, I want you to imagine someone not casting Fireball. That is the more likely occasion. It is a universe where Fireball is not cast, because it's saying, looking at a wizard or any spellcasting class that has the ability to cast Fireball and being like, don't you do it. That's...
You'll blow up the world, John. Don't do it. But I want to cast Fireball. Don't do it, John. John, you don't understand. You will literally kill everyone. John, don't do it, John.
How much XP do I get for the world? I set us ablaze. God might forgive you, but I won't. Fireball! You kill everyone. We're all dead. We're all dead. You don't need to roll damage. We're all just dead. What about creatures immune to fire? What about the magmen? Huh? What about the magmen? What about my lava golem? What about my ring of fire immunity? Yeah, those don't work. It's too much fire. Overpowered.
They're dead.
You're dead. Even magmen. Even John Fire, who's literally a fire elemental, who should get stronger, is dead. Fuck
Even
you,
Ragnaros
John.
Came up from World of Warcraft and was like, damn, dude, this is too much fire. What the shit?
My fire beeper! This is so much fire, and it smells. Smell fire? I hate this.
Oh my god, so 2 things from chat. 'Tis better to die in a ball of fire than live sniffing evil farts of tyranny.
That's so good. Wouldn't Magman just set off the farts to make it?
Listen. We have gone beyond the trap at this point. We are in the realm of speculation.
We're just making this. We're crafting this universe as we're explaining it. now, hang on, because we have more horrible game sessions with John's group. So let's see what happens in session 2, the next night. Let me pick a good one here. So the first one I got, this one was like also sort of a encompassing explanation of just generally what you're getting into, and it would be on page 6 of the PDF. I didn't go by like the numbers at the bottom. I went by the PDF numbers. The ball-bearing corridor. And I'll give you just a little dramatic reading of how and what they wanted to do for it here. This will be...
what page was it in the PDF? Because 6 takes me...
26.
Oh, 26. I thought you said 6.
26. 26.
26. Yes, here it is. Ball-bearing corridor. Yeah. All right. Let me throw that in your list. But carry on. Pretend I am John's brother Mark. I am Mark Markinson.
You get to be Mark. So, what happens with this bad boy? And in fact, I'm just gonna go there. I need to go there too. I need to go and pull it up on my end. We can all thank Mike Stackpole. Oh yeah, I forgot that this book also gives thanks to people who came up with the ideas for it.
Well, you know why they did that, right?
Why?
Because they want to throw those people under the bus. They don't want this to be Grimtooth's problem. They want people to hate Mike Stackpole.
Oh man, Mike Stackpole, dude, Mike Stackpole. If you can pull up and enlarge the image here of figure A and figure B as I explain this. I also really like that they had like a deathness rating, like a deadliness rating for it there. What was the highest one that you saw? I think I saw 5.
I think I saw 1 5.
Yeah,
but it was pretty Let me see if I can adjust the crop here. But yeah, it was pretty brutal to even get to a 5. And I only saw the 1.
Absolutely. Let's go, Shrimpy!
Hey, Shrimpy!
300 rupees or golden
I
still
haven't figured out what to call bits because I rarely ever get bits. So this is a new and novel experience for me.
Yes, thank you for the jubilant jewels, for our dragon horde, and our chaos skulls, whatever you want to call them, man. You gotta figure it out.
You know what? Hold on. I think you're onto something there. Hey, 20 bits from AOS. Thank you. I think you're onto something though.
Let's go, gamer.
Because we all know I'm Warhammer 40k, so maybe I just make them like little skulls because little skulls are on fucking everything in Warhammer 40k.
Yep, that's everywhere.
I think
tokens could also.
You know what?
Work.
We got it. Boom. You know what? I'll fix it after the stream. We finally have something to call bits. Love it.
Excellent. Skulls for the skull throne. There you go. Easy, works, full Warhammer lore, everything connected together. Bada bing, bada business. And now you're killing it. And speaking of killing, Mike Stackpole can be thanked for this devilish ball-bearing corridor. Watch out for that first step. The trap is a section of corridor that has been hollowed out to form a perfect sphere. Like me, John Sphere. A spherical section of stone has been set with this cavity, balanced upon fine rollers that allow it to spin within the sphere. As might well be expected, the fitting of the ball within the cavity is tight enough to ensure that the junctions with the hallway will be difficult to detect. So a near unparalleled amount of perfect seamlessness with the wall and the rest of the actual hallway. So this section of hallway has an entire circle, a 360-degree circle, also known as a sphere, completely hollowed out. Balls are put on the outside, and then it's perfectly meticulously weighted to set into the original location of how it was set up. Of course, this is at the original weight category. Wait for the new weight to be added. Oh, wait for the weight. Oh, I'm gonna kill. I am gonna kill. All right. Enough to shake the difficult to detect. The ball is delicately balanced, and a character who steps onto it will cause it to tip. You might wish to increase the tension on the rollers so that more than one character can enter the trap before it rotates. He's talking to us, not in the fourth dimensional realm where we are, right? Because we're in the D&D universe, we're like these upper planar beings, but he's talking as if he's in like the tome, and he's giving balance to like a trap maker. He's like, hello, fellow trap makers. Don't forget to tune the balance of your balls so that maybe one or two adventurers get trapped in the ball like...
Sorry, carry on.
Are you okay? All right, good.
No, carry on.
The ball balance, if you will, the mancuspidness, the grinditude of these orbs, right? Make sure that they're really taut and that they have got a lot of way and pull. All right. I really want to be able to grasp these nuts, if you will. These roly-poly nuts. I'm gonna really stretch them in there. All right, so increase the tension. And again, I really hate that he talks to us like we're trap makers. When the sphere rotates, that's me. Go ahead and rotate my PNG.
All right, hold on. I can do this.
When the sphere rotates, when the sphere rotates, going round and round, it's just like if you like keybind a rapid flip, like up down left right, or just one of the sides.
Oh no, it's not rotating the way I want it to. Why would you do this to me?
Oh, there he is. There I go. Look at me.
Oh, nope, went too far. Hold on.
I'm moving.
Oh, no, you're completely off the screen now. Hold on. 75.
Perfect.
No, hold on. This is, there we go. You've rotated slightly.
I'm off the screen. I'm rotating.
Hold on,
all
I
right,
can fix this.
There he is.
Okay,
all right,
we're
dangerous,
back.
dude. I look so dangerous. This looks scary, dude. I'm a little villain. I'm a little villain. I'm a little bad guy. Anyway, when the sphere rotates, the character will fall into the pit below as shown in figure B. turning figure A into figure B at this particular point. For added effect, place spikes at the bottom of the pit. And if you wish to be especially cruel, install automatic crossbows in the upper half of the trap to further bedevil characters trapped in the pit below.
I just want to point out real quick, not regular crossbows, automatic crossbows.
That's different than a repeating crossbow, which will eventually end and needs usually a hand crank to continually crank out the arrows. Automatic crossbows don't exist. It's just magic. It's just a magic crossbow. Could it have been just blatant magic in there instead of an automatic crossbow? Yep, but remember, we're in the 1980s. Crossbows are cool, and automatic crossbows are like a gun, so we need to have those. America, whoop whoop, America, bang bang. Kill the turkey, we win.
Real quick, I do want to point out here in figure B, so we see the corridor rotating, right? And we kind of see at the very top there, the two little coming down. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Where we kind of see those two kind of phalanges coming down in figure B. If you look carefully enough, only one of them actually is able to get the people in the supposed spike trap.
The second automatic crossbow actually just shoots into the rest of the trap and does nothing. Possibly, however, this may actually be an ingenious maneuver so that once the two figures who are now off of the weight itself will of course want to reset back to its balancing point, which we know meticulously. We ground those balls, we shape those balls, we touch those balls really hard to make sure that point, the one where it looks really nice, right? Then where it looks like an actual hallway, that's the point it's going to reset to. However, if an automatic crossbow shoots a god load of crossbow bolts into the lower lip of that, when it tries to go and rebalance, it will just catch the lower lip, keeping it there with the amount of crossbows that are just holding it, which allows the other crossbow to eternally pelt the people in the bottom with this crossbow belt. Now, if it was an expertly made super mega bad boy mega evil crossbow, the reverse lip where the other crossbow could actually shoot down at them would actually have it snag and bounce the crossbows in a ridiculous pattern down at the bottom so that they could never like calculate the trajectory or be
so it's coming in at a different angle every time. I got you.
A different angle every time. And in fact, place little reflective mirrors. Maybe they can be magic, maybe they can be like specifically set up, but I think if they're specifically set up, someone will eventually probably go and understand it. Or if you want to have a duplicating magic circle on a couple of mirrors that when it catches, what is it called? That magic transference circle. If I remember correctly, in 3.5, there's a circle that you can have when you have that on trigger, when something enters the circle, be it a spell cast or an object such as a crossbow bolt, it will then activate the spell triggered inside. So let's have a magic circle mirror where this crossbow automatic crossbow bolt will shoot a bolt into the magic circle, this arcane, I forgot what it's called again. I literally just said the name of it and I immediately forgot it. I'm gonna lose myself. Magic transfer circle? I'm losing my mind. I've had to deal with this before because my DM is a genius and a bastard, and I've played high level D&D for like most of my life, so I should know the name of this, but it is escaping me at this moment. There is a circle out there. It is a magic circle, and it does stuff on a triggered event. The triggered event in this case, we will trigger to a crossbow bolt entering inside of the circle range. Once that happens, that crossbow bolt is deleted and used as fuel to power the magic inside of the circle. Once enough crossbow bolts have entered into it to equivocate the spell, what will happen is we will have the spell cast. The spell that is being cast is going to be, I don't know, Arrow Storm. Fuck it, right? Yeah, Arrow Storm. Was that cool? So that initially they think they're safe, but instead what happens is a bunch of arrows go inside of a circle. Nothing happens for a little bit. They try and figure out their way out. Maybe they're just pulling themselves off the spikes. They're like, oh my God, that was awful, but I'm glad we're alive. And then all of a sudden, a blanket, just like a
wall,
300, we will blot out the sun level of arrows.
Then we shall fight in the shade.
Well, you shall fight in nothing because there's no shade, because it's just you. They'll just rain down and kill this guy. And I want you to imagine one like epic level monk who's like, Unlimited deflection.
Yeah, where do those arrows go then? You're like, well, shit, I didn't
catch
plan
all
for
the-
this.
I catch all the arrows. Thanks for the free arrows, bro. But at the same time, you're not playing with epic level people because this is a trap designed to kill small leveled encounter people, and most people play D&D at a very, very low level and never get up to wall of fire done. You could have so many different things happen. Like I of course was uncreative and just being like, well, if it's receiving arrows, why not produce a greater amount of arrows? But obviously, you could do whatever you want. It's a magic transference circle. At that point, we're being really cruel, but this is evil.
Yeah,
this is evil.
It's got a rating of 4.
It's got a little skull rating of 4. It's super rude. It's mega bad. It's gonna send you to the Shadow Realm. It's mean. You can have a piss of acid, and at the same time, what this is really just a mechanism, a really, really overly thought out mechanism to drop someone into a pit, which is half of the traps.
Are just dropping people into pits.
It's just an elaborate way of saying gravity will kill them for me. Gravity is the strongest foe in the game.
Well, you say that. I actually think that's the perfect segue into my next one. It's on page 56, and let me update my list. But it is what is known as the floor creature. So we'll continue the John bit. Let me go page 56. All right, so John.
Day 3?
This is day 3, or maybe this is day 5 after we've reset the campaign and everything's great.
Yeah.
So, all right, John, welcome back to the table. I'm glad you made your new character. Hopefully it is gonna live longer.
Hey, what's been going on with you lately? Like, you just
listen, I'm just going through some shit. It's been a rough day at work, and I'm just processing some stuff, and it might bleed into the game a little bit.
Okay, but I'm your friend, and I came here to have fun, and I don't think that you should take your anger out on like all of us.
Oh, no, you have to understand, it's not me that's taking out my anger on you. It's the trap maker who's doing it. See, the trap maker and I aren't the same people.
No, I understand that, but you're playing the trap maker. You could just not make him be a dick.
Well, if I did that, then I might as well make the sky purple and cows shit rainbows.
That sounds like a really fun campaign. Can we?
No, you are in this dungeon. You must progress through this dungeon first.
Okay. All right.
But it's okay. You know what, John? I'm going to give you an easy one. You walk into a room.
Good. Okay.
You walk into the room. It's just an empty room. It's a 20 by 20 open room. There's a door on the other side. Nothing in the room. Just bare walls, bare floor, nothing.
Okay, all right, thank you. Finally, all right, let's gang, I think we can set up camp here. We can maybe use this as a staging point to really scope out the rest of the dungeon. Let's head to the center of the room. We're gonna be setting up some camps. Wait, before I do that. Sorry, I mean, maybe you've been teaching me or something, but I do a perception check.
Okay, go ahead and roll your perception check.
Okay, okay, 1 second. Right, good. It's not. It hasn't been simple with you lately, so maybe this is a trick, right? Maybe it's a. But you said it was gonna be an easy one, so maybe it's not a trick. But I'm gonna roll it. Maybe it'll be fine. If it's nothing, then you'll just say it's nothing. Yeah, it'll be great. All right, 1 second. Dice roller, wizards. There we go.
Might as well just keep that site up. I think we're gonna do.
I'm just gonna keep the site up. Yeah. I got an 8 again.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. We add your modifier of 4. You're actually pretty perceptive with your new character.
Oh, good. I'm really glad that my ranger Elfington is really able to see. I figured that was also a lesson too. Like maybe I should have a high perception check so I can see the shit that you're trying to pull. I mean, the danger, right? The shit, the danger,
well,
the danger.
The good news is, again, you just see that the floor is bare, the walls are bare. There's no markings, there's no divots, there's no arrow holes. It's just bare.
Okay. That sounds great. You know what? That's good. Yeah, okay. We'll set up camp, guys. So let's get it set up here. As the ranger, I probably have the highest
one thing though before.
Oh, okay.
You did roll a 12. You would notice that the floor seems to give a little bit. It's almost like there's a spongy feel to it.
Is there a way around that we can take?
I mean, you could backtrack through the dungeon, but you did just get through the rotating corridor of doom, so if you want to go through that again...
Oh. Okay, right, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shoot a flare.
Okay.
A flare arrow in there.
All right, you shoot a flare arrow, it hits the ground, it burns for a little bit, and then it just sputters out. Nothing happens.
Okay. I think we're good, right? I've been precautious. We did the stuff that I guess you were trying to teach us beforehand to be careful and all that. So it's
I'm just throwing you an easy one. You know, I thought I'd give you a break.
So it's just a kind of gross, spongy room, a little bit. Like the floor is just a little spongy.
Just a little weird,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's safe, right? That seems safe. All right, let's go. Okay, guys, we set up camp in the middle for real this time. And we just watch our footing and try not to, step in any too spongy looking spots.
And as you set up your camp in the middle of the room, as you pitch your tent, that's when the creature strikes. The floor reveals itself to be a giant mimic and envelops you in its teethy maw as it begins to clamp down on you and rain acid down upon your forms. Roll initiative.
What the hell, man? You said this was gonna be an easy one.
Listen, I didn't kill you instantly this time.
I threw a flare!
Well, after the whole fire burning the earth, I had to make everything immune to fire.
Okay. All right. I'll roll initiative. And with that, you can see that John is beginning to lose patience with his pal here, nameless DM who is evil, or as we all know, the evil, as his new name now is, of course. The previous person that he was, having been gone, the spirit of Grimtooth having entered his body as soon as he picked up the evil Doug.
That's his name now, Evil Doug.
His name was regular Doug, and now it's Evil Doug because Grimtooth entered his soul when he picked up the book at a haunted flea market for weird retro games that have no cartridge packaging and are only a gray, nameless sort of box that contain evil. And this was in that box, so we touched all the evil game cartridges. Woo! It's just, Halloween never ended. This is
never did.
Elongated Halloween. Yep. I don't care if it's December, it's Halloween still.
Now, what I love about this trap, though, is the only indicator you get that something's off is that the floor is spongy or springy. But it also tells you that apparently because John here went into the center of the room, so that means he didn't get a chance to jump free. But if you were still on the outside of the room, it does advise that you should let them do reflex checks. But it does say that once inside the floor mimic, God, that's a horrible thing to think of, a floor mimic. Once you're inside the floor mimic, you're trapped inside until the people outside kill the thing, which is terrifying. That is absolutely fucking terrifying.
Not only that, this is not the first time. So this is not the first time that I've seen this type of thing. I don't know if it was introduced in Grimtooth, but there have definitely just been monsters that are just I think it's called the false floor. So there's several AD&D books that I've just seen that have, the super goofy art, like the one with the top hat that has one eye and an evil mouth and bat wings and shoots laser beams or something. Like that level of goofy monsters in it. And it, same birthplace as the owlbear and the flail snail. And it would just have floor trap or floor monster or floor mimic or something of that nature. Or I think it was called the false floor, where you would go into the room and the whole room just envelops on you exactly like this. So this has been presented in different books as a pure monster who is just evil. Evil. It's like the closest we have, or at least the closest that I can think of to this type of thing, but on a less eviler scale, but still a fucked up thing, is in 3.5, I always saw the images of the cloakers. And I just hated that, dude. Because you can just have a rack, just a rack on the side and just a bunch of cloaks and be like, oh, well, it's chilly in this dungeon, or it's chilly to go further in.
I'll take a cloak.
No. And then let them auto grapple you into, oh god, oh no, he's eating me.
I don't
And
know.
it just
Chat
is,
brings up a good point. Would you say ropers are worse or better?
well, it's a tree and you can talk to them. And they love conversation. If you can get a tree, if you can engage a roper in conversation, you can trick that bad boy into not eating you for so long, it's ridiculous.
Fair. Fair. Fair.
Yep, you just gotta have an interesting thing to say. I think that's a much cooler creature that has so much more. Yeah, the stone trees. They have, or the stalagmites, stalactites, whatever you want to call them, you know. They look like trees to me. They always have.
I mean, if you think about it, they are kind of tree-like. I mean, I see where your head's at. I see what you're thinking.
You put them whichever environment suits most. You can have them as either stalactites or stalagmites that come out there and shoot their little strings to, you know, and grapple you and whatnot and be like, haha, now I'm going to consume you. Unless, of course, you can tell me something cool. Or you have them in a forest where it's the same thing, except for he's a tree.
Very versatile monster.
Yeah. Now I have you, and I'm going to consume you unless you can tell me something cool.
Did you know that the average weight of an airspeed... just go on a Monty Python joke, which is apparently out of my mind at this point. Oh, my lord. All right, well, that's the floor creature / mimic. What you got next for us, Beno?
He's rude. I have bum. This one is also like sort of, I think we're starting off on like the starter ones, you know, the really like sort of like the floor mimic's kind of weird. This one is mean. This one is thought out to be like, oh, did you think you were smart? Oh, did you perhaps want to live? No. This is the Slippery Pit. PDF pages 26 and 27.
Ah, right below
So
this one. All right, yeah. Let's see if I can get that all on screen here.
Right below it, because I read both of these back to back, and I just thought they were.
Yeah,
like,
there we go. All right, let me add that to your thing. But again, yeah. What do we got for the Slippery Pit? What is involved?
All right, so check this rootatry here, gamer. Check this rootatry here. As our good friend, of course, presents it to us. So he comes in and he just finished talking about the ball-bearing room, and he's just like, he throws Jay Walker under the bus at this point. Designed the Slippery Pit, a fine trap that spells doom for those characters who insist upon using tried and true methods of evading obvious traps. And if you want to go ahead and pull up what the trap sort of looks like there, you'll see that it's a hallway with a pit and a like the actual like paths, the pathways and everything for it there are slanted, so you are slowly sliding in to your doom towards it, and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? Interrupt a standard dungeon corridor with an obvious wall-to-wall pit trap, complete with greased and sloping floor sections. The standard way to avoid this trap, of course, because you live in the 1980s and it's, you know, close to 40 years ago.
That's a sobering thought.
Time has gone.
Time
40 years ago. 40 years ago in the 1980s. Fantastic. When hair was big and the music was loud as fuck.
Oh, Chrome of the Sage. Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
What up, Chromie? The standard way to avoid the trap, of course, is to pound some pythons into the corridor walls and negotiate the trap by hand-over-hand maneuvers. The problem with this solution is the fact that the walls to either side of this slippery pit are unusually thin. Pythons secured within these walls are likely to come loose if undue weight is applied to them, so you'll fall in anyway. For even more devilishly, deadly, nightmarish, horrible things to do to your players, or as I like to call it, solutions to the clever delver problem, conceal a sheet of contact explosives behind those thin walls.
God. Can you imagine day 5 with Evil Doug the GM, and you're like, all right, I guess I like make handholds as I walk across.
No, think about it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like think about it. He's training them to like become these super hardcore like mega thinker delvers, right? To try and become clever. And then this problem comes in. He's like, okay, we've seen this one before. And like at this point, what's my character? Jeffrey. Jeffrey has started smoking, right? Because he hates playing with Doug so much at this point, but he's been his like best friend since he was childhood. So he's started smoking at this point, but he's just become way better at this trap shit. Even though he hates it, and he's like, all right, cool. I think we've seen this one before. Pythons into the wall. Remember that was a good way to go and seal it last time. And then you just like slowly walk over, your grin growing impossibly large across your face as your violent head begins to contort and twist into that like slow turn of like, oh, you fucked up, my friend. Oh, is that what you're going to do? You're gonna put Pythons into the wall? Would you like to know the outcome of what that idea would be?
Instant fireball in your face. Take 16d6 damage. You die instantly. The Sword of Truth number 3 also burns up and everything. And because there is no evil gas anymore, because you honestly killed that guy like 4 times by this point, which I guess means you did complete the quest that you set out to do, just you killed everyone else in the world to do it. Anyway, the new big beta evil guy's like, damn, you know, I should have more fireball traps.
What about our ring of fire resist to take half damage?
Oh,
no, that wasn't a real ring of fire resist.
That was a cursed ring.
Autumn ring.
It actually made you fire vulnerable, is what it did.
Thank you. Yeah, I was about to say it's actually a cursed ring, and it's actually fire vulnerability.
Yeah, that warm feeling you were feeling when you put it on. Yeah, that was the warning. Yeah, you actually instead of
that vague statement that I said that one time offhandedly, barely audibly, that was your warning. The ring is a mimic.
The ring is a mimic.
It's a mimic ring. It's a mimic ring.
Isn't everyone immune to... Well, but Lord Exile, that's the thing. Because he was wearing the ring of finer vulnerability, that's why the fire affected him. If he wasn't wearing the wing, it would have just exploded and he would have been fine. But no, we have to teach John Jeffrey a lesson.
John, when are you gonna, John, when you gonna learn? You gotta be better at this. And he's like, man, when we hang out with you anymore, dude? I'm not having fun. I'm just not. This game was supposed to be fun. Well, it's not, John. It's supposed to be educational, and you're doing a bad job of it. You're a bad learner.
I was going to make a joke, but I think that might be racially insensitive, so I'm not going to make that joke.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, maybe don't. But
No, my joke was going to be one of those things where I was going to be like, and let me preface this. I had a lot of Asian friends growing up. I knew how hard the memes were about how their parents were overbearing. So I was going to flavor John of, man, if your mother knew you were failing Dungeons and Dragons this hard, she might tell you to study better, John. God, what are you doing?
When you get home, if I tell her, she'll beat you. When you get home, John, it's over.
John's just like, I hate my life. I want to die.
What do I place with you, dude? We were friends. What happened? We could just play the old way, man. Where we just went into the dungeon and just killed monsters, and the monsters died.
Well,
we haven't seen a monster in the last 25 rooms at over 2 campaigns.
Well, that's because you didn't like the floor mimics, so I thought I'd give you a regular trap again. Do you want more floor mimics? I'll throw more floor mimics in.
Man, I will see you next week, okay?
He just stands up.
He just leaves. All right, what do you got? What's next week?
Oh Lord, I gotta think of. On the subject of cursed items, we're gonna go to the atomic necklace, which I just love for the silliness of this. So the atomic necklace is basically a necklace chain that is made of finely wrought gold that, an average adventurer coming across is like, yeah, this looks like a really nice chain. I want to take this. But attached to the chain is an inch-long charm shaped like a bomb. And I don't mean like an Acme circular bomb. I mean like a nuke kind of bomb. And that's what you see, John. You see a necklace with a bomb attached to it. What do you want to do with that?
Nothing. I leave it.
But it could sell
you-
for a lot. It might be worth taking.
Who cares? We never get to town to sell anything anyway. You kill us before then.
Well, that's the good news, is that as long as you get through this room, you've reached the end of the dungeon. So you just have to take it one room. Yeah, you're at the end of the dungeon. You just got to take your loot and go home.
Wait, are you telling me that exit sign is a real exit sign and is not like a mimic that's gonna fall down on me and squish me flat?
No, but that's a good idea. I'm gonna have to write that one down.
You son of a no! Shut the fuck. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you say that it looks like a nuke?
Looks like a nuke.
Like
you
a
know,
real world nuke?
Yeah, looks like Fat Man or Little Boy. Yeah.
Like from Fallout? Like,
yeah, from Fallout. Yeah.
Why is that on there?
Maybe they're the radioactive cult.
No, they haven't shown any. Look, you haven't done any world building this entire time, okay? There's no.
Well, that's
way
because you keep dying in the first 3 rooms of the dungeon, John.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? I didn't make the dungeon. I didn't make the dungeon.
Sorry. Nope. I shouldn't be yelling at you. It's fine. My therapist told me to breathe when I'm in this room and when I'm in your space, and to not let you get in my head. So, we haven't gotten. Our only treasure this entire run is this gold bomb.
Gold necklace bomb. Yep.
Okay. Can it? Do we still have that Tensor's floating disc? Whatever. We can probably just like take the whole guy and bring it with us, right?
Probably could.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we'll take the. Yeah. All right. That's fine. We'll take the whole thing and the bomb. Why not? Bomb's probably important, right? Yeah. I'll take the bomb. Wait,
so ironically,
if I move the bomb, it's gonna blow up, isn't it?
One way to find out, John.
No, don't. You're not allowed to say that anymore, okay? Yes or no answers only. All right, we talked about this. If I move the bomb, right? Hold on. All right.
Do you want to take out a 10-foot pole and poke the bomb?
Dispel magic on the for detect. Hold on, detect magic on the necklace and the bomb.
The necklace is mundane, as is the bomb-shaped affectation attached to it.
Cool. Dispel magic on that very, very clear Nestor's non-detection aura. Nice try, asshole.
Well, I like what you're thinking, John, but actually, nah, not even an anti-magic field, not even an anti-detection field. It's just a normal necklace with a bomb on it.
10-foot pole. No. We're going to use our combined 30-foot pole to poke the bomb.
All right, you poke it. Nothing happens.
All right. 30-foot pole to see if we can maybe grab the gold chain and pull the bomb with us. Maybe it's a...
Well, it's a good thing you did that, because when you use your 30-foot pole to pull at the necklace, it comes apart and detonates the bomb. But because you're 30 feet away, you only take 4 damage, actually. Only 4.
We still take damage at 30 feet away.
It's a big explosion, John.
We're at the end of the dungeon. It doesn't matter. Wait. Did that destroy the gold chain?
It did, yeah.
I'm fucking leaving. Okay, have a great night, dude. It's been fucking fun, dude. That real sick, fucking awesome. Can't wait for tomorrow, man.
Just the evolution of this character is going places, and I love it. Oh, wait. No, John, before you leave, you still have the Ring of Fire vulnerability. That's worth something.
You actually take 8 damage. That's enough to kill you. Roll up a new character. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, it's my bees, the DM. Sorry, you're dead. You're so dead.
You know what's so unbelievable about this mock D&D game they're running? The fact that they play D&D every day. Listen, listen.
There's no scheduling errors. That's the greatest foe has been defeated.
Well, that's why John keeps coming back, because they actually meet when they're supposed to meet, and they're very regular about it. So he just keeps coming back. It's like a daily thing with him. He's in a routine. He has to follow the routine.
Bro, man, he's been trained, because up until this point, dude, he like nothing bad was happening, but now he's just and like every time he comes back, it's just like he's more and more down like this, like the doomer path where he's got like a little black toque and he's got like a black hoodie and he's got a 5 o'clock shadow. He started smoking, but like before that he was like this is super chipper, like, you know, high on life, kind of like, oh boy, I can't wait to, wow, this is so much fun and you can do whatever you want in this game. Holy smokers. Oh my goodness, oh my dang, this is wonderful. I can't wait. Wow, and we get to defeat the goblins. Wow. It's like, yeah, absolutely. And then Doug, of course, went to that unfortunate
garage sale.
That one day, that fateful day when that garage sale inside of a flea market, inside of a storm, inside of a gypsy's hut, inside of a weird back alley, inside of a marble, inside of
this is like an
Derek's
SCP
brother's house. Yeah.
This is like that IKEA SCP where you go in and it's just endless, you know, IKEA forever, and you can never get it. You know what? Let's make this an SCP. Let's make it a thing.
It's just this eternally, like, no matter what, it just gets more like you think you're out, but you're always still in it. Like, oh man, that'd be awful. That is a horrible idea for an SCP. Oh,
just gonna write that down for later use.
I hate that so. No. It's so awful. Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, you think you're out. Nah, you're just in a different, other spooky version of a horrible thing that's happening. All right, so I think I'm next. Number 3 for me. Let's go and have a look. Which one did I put down here? Also, I absolutely chose all of the eye things. I'm just gonna tell right now, anything that like revolves around harm to the eye, I can't handle it.
No, I can't handle it either.
Just can't handle it. So I, of course, put those on the list. But this one is where it's just like, this is starting to get like really like wild and goofy. This one is on PDF page 31 to 32. Supercharger crawlway.
Oh, yeah, this one. I didn't pick it, but I remember reading it.
This is so, like, make that picture enormous. Make that the whole.
Let me see if I can. Let me actually add it to the list here. But tell us about the Supercharger crawlway as I do this.
You got it. Let me boop 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 boop. Okay, so the Supercharger crawlway. Guess who's taking the beating for this one? Paul O'Connor, where are you? I hate you. You're not gonna see tomorrow. Has designed another corridor trap that uses spikes to grim effect. Oh, again, most of these end in a pit of spikes or a pit of just pit or some sort of pit that will hurt you. Always in a pit.
Always.
The Supercharger crawlway, located in a low crawl space off of the main dungeon corridor. So if you'll have a look at the diagram, to the left, that'll be the corridor. What this represents is that it's not like the roof of a house. It's actually a very elongated inward image of a very, very long hallway. And at this hallway, there's this little tube. And you're like, oh, wow, what's weird with this tube going on here? This trap should prove a fatal surprise for anyone foolish enough to venture within. This is the whole taking D&D and just absolutely taking the fun out of it, where exploring, which is one of the funnest part about D&D, is to like discovering new things and realizing that, or at least what I would always want to, and my DM has always instilled in me, in that exploration and finding out new things about the world is should and is always fun, with maybe a couple of like dangerous possibilities, but the dangerous possibilities are always hinted at. This is literally just like, you see a hole. Do you want to look in? Oh, did you? You stupid bitch. Guess what?
You're screwed.
The crawlway is just large enough to permit passage of a normal-sized human being. The fit will be very tight, and
the Delver will find it impossible to turn around. Near the end of the crawlway, the character will discover a number of rubberized wheels that barely protrude into the passage through the ceiling and the floor. If the character continues...
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't, Evil Doug. I mean, I know this is a trap. I know it is, Evil Doug. Everything you've fucking thrown at us in the past 5 minutes tells me that this has to be a trap, but I'm just not seeing it. What is the purpose of the rollers? I don't know. You know what? Fuck it. You know, this is like my 8th character. Fuck it. Let's just die. I'd go through it, Evil Doug. What happens?
Let's just die. I'll be right back. I just want to go check something out.
Yeah, go for it. I'll entertain chat while you're gone. Yeah. Oh, this is precisely why I wanted to do it with Beno, chat, is because Beno is an amazing ad-lib artist. I always love collabing with Beno because he always has the wackiest of ideas, and I love it. But yeah, hopefully everybody's Thanksgiving has gone well if you're in one of the countries that celebrates it, and hopefully you're having a good time. Probably going to be a much longer stream than my usual because obviously we have to go through 20 of these things, but yeah. Beno just goes on Beno rants and it's amazing. Yeah, Beno rants are amazing. I do agree.
I'm back. All right.
He is back. Right on time. I love it.
I returned. Sorry, I had to secure the room. I keep forgetting that I am a very loud human being, and my voice carries exponentially well, and I don't want to get that third noise complaint, because that's when they start keeping track of shit, and
right.
We're just gonna not have that happen. Securing the room as much as possible. So now with everything having been done, where the hell was I? If the character continues so passages through the ceiling and floor, if the character continues, his pressure upon the wheels will trigger the trap. The primary gears begin to turn at a terrific rate, shooting the helpless character through several feet of corridor and into the room beyond. The traveling at a speed of approximately 60 miles per hour. So I want you to imagine what that must be like for anyone to go in there and just absolutely go from 0 to 60, right? 0 to 60 miles per hour. That's 100 kilometers. Oh. That is 100 kilometers per hour, which is you are like supercar level acceleration, because I can send this is in 6 seconds, right? Because we have to consider what is the average time frame of one round, which is 6 seconds in D&D.
So John, I know you've got that new Tesla, right? You saved up, you bought that Tesla, yeah? Yeah. Well, you're now faster than your Tesla. You've gone 0 to 60 in 0.5 seconds.
Cool. A human body really shouldn't experience that, but I guess I have. So what happens next? The character bursts into the room and encounters a wall of spikes. If there lives a character who could withstand such nasty punishment, I certainly wouldn't want to meet him. So at the very end, he's saying, hey man, if you live this, wow, I don't want to.
Yeah, well, you've made a good character. Carry on,
Yeah, a good character, because that's it. That's all that matters, just having high con, right?
Oh, Shizno does bring up a good point, though, that it does maybe, because this isn't very clear. It just says that 60 miles an hour, it doesn't give a time frame. I guess you could get into the argument of, wouldn't that just rip chunks of flesh off of me? Wouldn't that not accelerate me?
Yeah, wouldn't I just, wait, hold on. How is this happening? Wouldn't my hands just get, like, stuck and, like, get pulled into the gears? Like, who's going to say that I'm going to get, like, rollerballed into the next area, right?
And that's when you look at John and go, John, this is fucking D&D. We don't do real-world physics shit. You're going 60 miles an hour. Deal with it.
Okay, great. I got it that we don't do real physics shit, but then why bring up the 60 miles an hour at all?
Because I needed a frame of reference. Do you want to get in a Tesla and want me to roll you down a hill? Because I'll do that, John. I'll do that in a heartbeat if it teaches you a goddamn lesson of D&D. Oh my god, Evil Doug's gotten really mean. I apologize.
No, yeah, this is it's a book, dude. It's a book. It's Grimtooth, dude. The soul of Grimtooth is in him, dude. It's Grimtooth.
I feel like I'm channeling something deep and evil inside of me every time I do Evil Doug. I'm actually kind of scared.
Good, you're getting into character.
That's what scares me. Our next D&D session with Witchy, I'm maybe just gonna throw like a cheat like trap one. Like I'm gonna pick one of the traps in here and just throw it in there and just see what you do.
She gets so pissed at you. Why would you ever do that? That's a no.
No. But that's the best part. Is it's not actually a trap. It's just going to be the illusion of a trap. So you're over there fuming as Beno, and Witchy and Sark are like, "What's wrong, Beno?" "Oh, it's evil dog. It's evil dog." And they're just like, okay. Beno's having a Beno moment. We go inside. All right, nothing happens. Just an illusion.
That's fine. Just kidding. Just a prank, bro. Just a prank. You're up. Let me hear your next darkened tale.
Oh, that's the thing, is I gotta think of a good lead-in. Oh, let's do the lobster trap, because I actually really like the lobster trap, and it's actually a really ingenious one, in my opinion, where it's still evil, but it's one of those things where it's not necessarily punishing. Like, it's a fun trap, I think. I think for this, I'm going to read through the description and then I'll show the image, because this is a long trap. So bear with me as I describe this one. All right, so John, we're in day 7 of our trek to teach you D&D, and where we last left off before you went to use the restroom is you got knocked unconscious. You took another fireball to the face. You forgot to put on your ring of invulnerability. So you took a fireball to the face. You went unconscious. When you awaken, John, you are in a cage that is 50 feet above the sandy floor of a large circular room. And what you're seeing is that in the room below, there are... Oh, hey, Shizno. Thank you for the sub. Thanks. Oh, hey, no, that's a resub. That is an 8-month resub. Thanks, Shizno. Love it.
Gaming! Shizno, what a god.
Where was I? So yeah, you're looking around the room, John, and you see these hungry rock lobsters that are clacking their claws menacingly for the feast that is to come. Lobsters. Yeah, they're like giant lobsters. And what you notice with your passive perception, because remember, I'm teaching you about passive perception, is that you notice that the cage itself is hanging by a chain from a winch. And the winch is on a track that runs across the ceiling that ends in a blank wall, maybe about 20-30 feet away. Now, you also notice that the cage has 2 trapdoors. There's one in the roof, and there's one in the roof and one in the floor. And you can also notice that if you do decide to get up on the roof, that you see that there are 2 handholds on the winch device itself. So, what would you like to do, John? What would you like to do here?
Jesus, this one's... What the hell did you do for this? This is crazy. Okay, so if I've got this correct, there's handholds, there's a winch.
Let me pull up the diagram so people can see what's going on here.
This one's like a lot of thinking, right?
Mm-hmm. There we go, yeah. Yeah, as John's thinking, I'll keep reading the trap because it's actually ingenious. Well, again, I think it's ingenious, which may say something about me. But basically, if we look at this diagram again, there is, these giant lobsters that are just kind of wandering about, ready to eat anyone who goes beneath the cage, right? So, you're looking down, you maybe... Oh, they didn't even mention the ladder, but there's a ladder in the diagram. Shame on you, Grimtooth. Shame on you. Anyway, there's a ladder coming down from the cage that the characters are in. And what the characters don't know is that there is an undetectable invisible wall that leads from the cage's bottom all the way down to the floor, which means they can climb down the rope ladder safely. And the lobsters are just going to ignore them. But obviously you don't tell the adventurers that. You just set up this whole scenario and let them do what they will. The other thing is that the wall section that winch is connected to, that it kind of goes into the wall and then just stops. It's actually a piece of parchment that the track continues through. And another thing is that if you do descend the rope ladder, there is a hollow in which there's a treasure chest and a lever in the ground. So this is actually really interesting, where, the average party might be like, oh, maybe we have to fight the lobsters to get out, or, maybe maybe we have to go down and pull the lever, you know, that sort of thing. But what the trap recommends is that the chest does give a significant amount of treasure, but that the lever actually doesn't do anything unless you're really evil. And here's where it gets really evil. If you pull the lever, that invisible protection of wall goes away, and the lobsters will instantly rush in and eat your face.
I mean, maybe the adventurers can fight these lobsters, right? Maybe.
Well, that's the thing, is that if this were me running the trap, I'd be like, all right, the lobsters are like CR3. There's 3 of them. No, this deliberately tells you that the delvers cannot simply kill the lobsters to escape. A single character must crawl on top of the cage and pull on the handhold rings with all his might. This will drain the character some predetermined amount of strength, which is, again, evil, causing the cage to...
Are you kidding me? Hold the...
Yeah, let's pause there.
Like level drain? No, not level drain, sorry. Like, he said drain.
Yep.
Not like this is ability damage, which would still be awful in this situation, by the way, but like permanently take away the character's strength.
Well, that's the thing, is it doesn't say permanently, it just says drain. So I think what they're trying to say is that it takes effort and stamina to do. Like, I would say that would maybe be a con save to do.
All right, okay. You know what? I like your interpretation. Remember, we're in the 1980s.
Yeah. No, in the 80s, this would have been, and you lose 2 strength permanently.
You lose 2. You lose 6. You lose 6 strength.
So, John, what are you going to do? Are you going to pull in the handholds? You going to go see the lobsters? What are you going to do, John?
I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, there's no... you haven't really set up a way in which this room makes any sense. It just seems like whatever I do, it'd just be a random decision.
No, there's a mechanism here.
Yeah, I know, I get there's mechanisms. Yes, I get that. But what I'm saying is, how do I know which one's the right one and which one's just another red herring that you're going to use to fuck my ass with?
Well, that's the beauty of it, John. You never know in D&D. You never know what your dungeon master is thinking.
That's not how D&D... I don't think that's how D&D should be. I should have a hint.
Listen, who's the one behind the screen right now, John? Who's behind the screen?
Doug, that screen is going to go through your face if you keep pulling this shit, okay?
Well, that would require you to have more strength than you currently have, so maybe you need to go get your strength fixed.
I see John as like this, like... So despite his smoking, I assumed he was like, a fairly athletic, built, normal human being. This evil Doug is gonna eat shit. John is gonna like football tackle this guy to the ground and beat him to death. All right, let's use all the tricks you've been teaching me so far. Detect magic. What do I see? I'll just use the cone version that lets me just detect magic as to whatever's going on. I look everywhere. Are there
no magic in this room? Absolutely no magic. Well, unless you consider giant lobsters magic, in which case, yes, but no magic.
You can't see the invisible force field?
No, and that's what I gotta highlight again, is that it's an undetectable invisible wall spell. Now again, if this was a modern interpretation, I would say that it's glass, because that makes more sense. But they very specifically say undetectable invisible wall spell. Which I just think is dumb, but again, 80s.
That is so ratchet.
Oh yeah.
That's actually rancid. This is like, this is what you do to take and snuff the fun from a room and a group of people and just throw it the hell away. God, that's so rancid, man.
But I don't know. I mean, the reason I like this one is because you can tell they actually put thought into this one. It wasn't just like, haha, 60 miles an hour into a wall.
This is so elaborate. What's in the, so the diagram also showcases that, like, extra room full of stuff. What's in that one?
Yeah, so if you actually manage to pull, using the example, if you manage to pass your con save to pull the rings on the winch, you would pull the cage all the way over into a room of feathers, which would then allow you to just hop onto the feathers and escape the room.
There's an actual exit to this trap?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Most of them don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you're pulling the entire cage?
Yes, and here's the best part.
It.
If you fail the con save, the winch
Mm-hmm.
breaks and drops you into the lobsters.
That is literally being like, haha, life or death on this one little nonsense check. I hate
it too. I absolutely save or suck or save and die. Those are terrible checks. But again, haha, 80s, Evil Doug, etc.
Yeah. Oh my, and not even that, but like, I'm just thinking of all the times like, and this is my experiences from like playing Baldur's Gate, Baldur's Gate 2 specifically in the Illithid section where all the mind flayers are. Oh, did you get hit by my psionic blast and fail your save? Yeah, that's 4d6 rounds of absolutely pure paralysis. He just needs 2 turns to stick all his tentacles onto you. Your brain's extracted.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate was a very brutal game. Even now, even the remaster, it's brutal. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet, though. I don't know how brutal 3 is, but I imagine it's probably...
less. I would assume less because it's 5th edition, and you just, I mean, like, I know that doesn't preclude the brutality of stuff, and I think there will still be a sense of brutality, mainly because it's Larian Studios.
Have a good one, Trippy. Thank you for dropping in. Have a good one. And yeah, the VOD will be up on Twitch and YouTube, etc., etc. But yeah, have a great rest of your night, Trippy.
Have a good one, Shrimpy. Bye-bye for now. Good night, goodbye, and have yourself a great time.
I want to make that a ringtone now. Like you should record a ringtone. Let's make that a thing.
No,
just push it on a soundboard and you get Beno's dulcet tones, just telling you to have a good night. I love it. We should do it.
I feel like there could be more with these rock lobsters and everything for it here. So if you really wanted to spice this up, we played an evil campaign for just like a very, 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 very short time because playing an evil character makes me physically nauseous. And we had done it in the Underdark, and our party was insane. We had like a drow, we had a Umber Hulk, we had oh my god, what was it? Just some like these like super wild races and everything for it there. A Jackalware or Were-Jackal or something.
Were-Jackal,
like,
okay.
Jackal, I think it was called Jackalware, is because that's the way that they called it back in AD&D, which is weird, but like it's like a jackal person, if you will. And I had played a chull. You know what a chull is?
Isn't that like a rock, like a hermit crab thing?
It is a lobster semi morphically human lobster man. But like they're not super scary looking, but they stand up on all fours. Like it's go and pull up a picture of a.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to pull up a picture and show it on stream because I'm curious what this looks like now. Let me see. Well, here's the problem: is that well, it's not really a problem, but I don't know. Do you read Brandon Sanderson? Do you read the Stormlight Archive at all?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's an amazing book series. You should definitely read it. But the problem is that Chull is the name of a creature in the Stormlight Archive, and all the results are now not D&D.
Don't worry.
But they're
I got you, buddy.
They're let me see if I can find the D&D. Let me just Google Foo a little bit better here. Boop. Ah, beat me to it. Oh. Yeah, that's let me see if I can put that on stream here. Yeah, that's a thing. Huh. Definitely Cthulhu-esque.
I was gonna say a little Cthulian.
All right, let me make sure this link will work on stream because I'll link it in chat here. Yeah, here we go. There you go, chat, if you want to see what we're looking at.
Yeah, if you want to pull up an image for it there, seeing is better than believing. Or seeing is believing. If you want to go and just, if you want to put them up there.
It's basically like a lobster centaur creature thing. Is the best way I can think to describe it.
Why those are scary, or here's the thing, is that the Chull, as far as I was able to research for that campaign, have almost no culture. It's sort of like a throwaway monster that they kind of they just were like, we just need I don't know, like a watery creature that's kind of scary. Make like a lobster man, and his little tentacle feeler thingies, his mouth of that's a paralysis mouth. That's like horrible. Do not get hit by those tentacles. But that aside, there is no culture for these things. So how am I going to play a creature without having a baseline or any kind of understanding of what I'm supposed to be in this evil campaign, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I would just make something up on the spot. Just justify it as being part of the culture.
And that's the thing, is that because they have no culture, you're free to do whatever the hell you want, right? And that's sometimes the funnest stuff. So my DM was just like, he's like, I don't know. I guess he gave that as an option. He's like, yeah, it's, I mean, like, you're kind of humanoid. I guess you could play him if you want. It's like, go for it. It's an evil campaign. They got nothing, so you can do whatever you want with it. So I went in, and there is this one race in Star Wars that are like these lizard people that look very much like the Gorn from Star Trek, like
very familiar,
old school Star Trek. Yeah, he's like this like lizard faced dude, but he has like the body of a man, and he usually wears like a suit and whatnot. So these space Gorns, if you
space Gorns, as they're known.
Yep, as they're known in Star Wars, have this culture of sort of like their entire religion, or like their, universe spanning religion, is that a giant sport, if you will, where they sort of have they keep track to like of all their kills and everything from it, and everybody compares what their kills are. It's just like this huge hunter culture of just, big dicking another one, man, like a big dick hunter culture, right? So I took that and I spun it a little more, and I made it so that the mind flayers, or insert whatever underdark race that you would want, had control and manipulation over the religion that all the Chol believed in, which I ended up calling the Great Scorekeeper. It was this eternal, like, generational line of points that all the Chol would earn, and doing certain actions earned you the points, and then your family, or just literally you yourself as the Chol, would be higher up on an actual ranking that is tracked, a literal godly leaderboard. That was their entire religion, and their entire culture was based around that. And then because they don't have traditional abilities to wear magic items or do any of that stuff, because like you look at them, there's no way this thing can
there's no way they're wearing anything.
Hands. It can't wear anything. So instead, it would have ceremonial magic paint that they would each lather on top of each other with, and you create like these intricate designs by like slowly using their pincers to like brace and their actual tentacles to draw arcane symbols upon each other to imbue, because none of them know magic. Not a single one of them. It is a warrior caste. None of them know magic, but they're able to forge the magic of the competition and inlay it with the religion of this fake religion that I just made up on, just right before the game.
Right.
In order to imbue your point values into magic stat bonuses. So I was able to still have magic items that I was like, I'm like, if you want, I'll make it more expensive, as if like it's an itemless slot. But please let me have magic item, and I'm just gonna have it as magic body paint. My DM loved it so much, he didn't even charge me extra. He's like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
innovative.
Like I'm gonna write this down. Hold
literally. He's like, you literally made a culture for this throwaway race that nobody thought of. And I'm like, yeah, the Great Scorekeeper, and I've got and I wanted to have like a send-off to an old World of Warcraft character that I thought was super cool. So I called my my Chell guy Broxigar after Broxigar, the orc legend who went into the Well of Eternity to close the portal from the side of the Burning Legion, where he literally slew 1,000 demons on the day in which he closed the portal and literally held it off by himself, drenched in demon blood, so that they could save Azeroth from this invasion, the first invasion of the Burning Legion. And it was just like, I just thought it was hype.
No, again, I'm writing all this down. This is good shit. Like, no joke, this is good shit.
I know, it's just some off the cuff nonsense that I made up. My DM was like, what the fuck? That was awesome. And I pretty much was super loyal to the Mind Flayer character that we had in it, because they put themselves in the place of power. They're like, these are the attendants of the scorekeeper, and they're the ones who go and evaluate. Like, I want you to imagine a talent scout for at a little league game or something. They literally can elevate you or your family, your specific Chull clutch line to a higher elevation and imbue additional points by physically viewing your performances, so everyone's like on the top of the game. They want to be extra ruthless while a Mind Flayer is nearby, and I got to have the viewing of a Mind Flayer. Of course, I didn't know, my character is fiercely loyal to them, but my character didn't know that this was like an exiled Illithid for doing some weird shady stuff and like showing compassion or something. It was this huge nonsense, but either way, all of that was just for like a one-off evil campaign that we played for maybe 2 or 3 sessions. And I don't know,
it sounds hype. I think that's really cool. But no, I want to paint a picture real quick before I forget it. So when you say talent scouts, I imagine like a bunch of Chull just lined up like football linebackers, and just an Ithilid like looking at the crowd, and the crowd's yelling, "Go get him, Timmy!" And Timmy's like, "Okay, Dad." And they start butting heads and paralyzing each other, and the magic war paint is going all over the place. And then the Ithilid's just sitting in the back, stroking his tentacle beard, going, "Yes, that one there, Timmy is a good one. I see he has much gumption in him."
There's a lot of violence coming off of that Chull, indeed. Wow, did he just rip the exoskeleton? Like, did he just hit the skull?
I see he's eating his opponent. That is appropriately evil.
Wow. That's so evil, yeah.
Though I do question his use of Tabasco sauce. I would have used something a little bit more vinegary.
Where the hell did he get that? That's not a... Hold on.
Yeah, how the hell did he get that? Where was he hiding it? I have so many questions.
Oh my god, yeah. Is this potential magic from this race? Must investigate further. Bring to the Elder Brain. Uh-oh. They're learning. Uh-oh.
Maybe
we'll have to mind wipe that Chull.
well, before we get back to the traps, one thing I'll say is that maybe, if you let them, do their thing long enough, maybe they start to become 40k orcs, where what they believe to be true becomes reality. So the Chull just
psionics?
Yeah, where the Chull just sort of believes something is real and it becomes real.
Yeah, that would be way more personality than I would have initially given them. I made them like super like not stoic, but I gave them sort of a space marine hyper zealous religious ideology, but it's like a weird sports religion, right? So it's all about scoring the points and everything.
So Blood Bowl. It's 40k's Blood Bowl.
Yes! 40k's Blood Bowl, exactly. And he's just so into it. It's like a Blood Bowl player. Holy god, that's a really good. Yeah,
not gonna lie, you might run into like one of these during one of the one shots one time, because I think this is cool.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, let's go. Yeah, so replace just random rock lobsters with this
Chull.
Weird race of Chull and everything down there, and I think that'd make it even more scary. And the entire time they're taunting you, and like they're saying, like, I'm trying to think of like what's some good sports ball taunts and everything.
I don't know. I don't follow sports ball.
I was gonna say, I'm like, Red Rover, get the fuck off that ladder.
Get the fuck off the ladder. There you go. There's your new catchphrase.
Get the.
Oh lord, what do you got next for us, Beno? We've
When you reach the earth, I'm gonna tackle you so bad.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah. I don't know why.
I don't even believe.
Oh my god.
Is that some Macho Man on there?
It was just a little bit of Macho Man. Oh my
Yes.
lord.
The next trap.
Yeah, what do you got for us next, Beno?
This one's a really bad one. This one goes into, hey, they well thought out, super goofy, you can kind of win. Here is a no-win. Uh-oh, I'm rude. Why did you make this? You're so mean. Type scenario. Page 46 in the PDF. Spyglass.
Oh man, that already looks brutal. Oh wow. Yeah. Go on. So what do we got before us here, Beno?
Mike moved away from the elemental theme for his next device. Considering the violence involved, one is led to wonder if a delver might not prefer to have his hands burned off or his clothes catch fire. At least with these feats, there's a slim chance of survival. The spyglass offers no such opportunity. The device looks like an everyday handheld telescope. It radiates some magic. A person who looks into it sees a blurry image of an attractive member of the opposite sex or whatever they find appealing because holy shit, calm down, 80s, oh my god. The act of focusing the spyglass moves a small ring inside that has been holding back a spring-loaded dagger. A thin-edged blade will enter the eye and perhaps the brain. Death, or at least blinding, is the result.
Just instant,
that is
you die.
Pure cruelty in its most absolute form. Now, there's a ton of ways that this can be avoided. Obviously, if the player character doesn't give a shit about your nudie spyglass, then I'm certain that they won't go for it. I think that having the illusion here is that if you're a pervert, you deserve to be blinded or in some cases instantaneously killed is one of the most dog shit messages I've ever seen. And this is one of the few items here that has a 5-star lethality where they just say outright you die or are blind. There is no like check or anything to make for it here. It's just going to this just destroys
it just kills you.
It just destroys you.
I think I understand what the reasoning is because I mean you're old enough to know this reference. Hopefully, I mean you know Heavy Metal, the movie, yeah.
Yes.
Like the old. I think this is kind of that same thing where they're like, man, you know what, guys, we need a metal trap. We need to have boobs in the picture. What do? Well, put a hot, attractive woman in a spyglass and make them focus on it, and then they instantly die, and that's pretty grimdark, right? Johnson, I have no idea what the fuck you're smoking or where you're getting these ideas, but print that down. Somebody write that shit down. Johnson, you're getting a raise. Right.
The only problem is that take that out of the 1980s where they just finished watching heavy metal and being like, yeah, it's so sick and cool. Oh, you're punished for your deeds of sin. Your carnal lust has been absolutely eviscerated, bro. The dangers of whacking and jacking your and all of that is like literally like we have demonized our own sexuality for so long that it's just at this point we're literally like, yeah, and it was stupid all along, and why did we do it? Literally the most natural carnal human feelings ever, and all we're doing is that, oh, it's bad to feel good. Feeling good is stupid. It's like, what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah, they definitely a different time when this is written
about. 100%, and that ad is a product of its era. But also, this is just really evil because I don't do eye shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, this thing would be like, oh, you know what? Can I just be dismembered instead? Can I not have that happen? Actually, that's be like, can we?
I'm done.
Yeah, can
like
we
this
do something else, maybe.
I want you to imagine, like at this point, let's say we were to take it into the scenario, John wouldn't even fall for this. He's like, I'm not interested. And he'd be like, but the eyeglass, but it's magic. It's like, yeah. And it seems to be magic in that there's just a nudie picture inside. I'm not interested. I don't care. My character has no sex drive at all. They're asexual, whatever.
Well, John, you live this time.
Cool. Thanks.
Well, here's a magic item that I think John would like. It's on page 50 of the PDF. It is the Vincent van Gogh seashell. Now, I like the idea that there is just such a wacky item like this, but let me read it. And we'll bring back Evil Doug for this one. All right. Okay. So, day 9 of your training to become the legendary Delver of the Depths, Mr. Jefferson. You see before you. I want to die. Well, no, this is okay. You don't have to die. I haven't even described the room yet.
I killed myself.
You can't.
I can't? Why?
Because...
That's weird. You're stopping me from dying? Holy shit. Have I really found the way to break you? Oh my god. Go ahead with your description. Go ahead. Jerk
Evil
off in front of me.
Doug pauses for a moment and goes, shit, I never thought if they would just start killing themselves, what do I do? In-game, by the way, in-game, not in real life.
In Minecraft.
In-game. So, I guess Evil Doug goes, all right. So you see a magic seashell, and it's very, very pretty. And if you listen carefully, you can hear, like, low whispers coming from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's just a seashell with magic that you hear whispers from.
Yup. Sick. I will put it in my bag of holding.
You don't want to
carefully.
Don't want to listen to the whispers?
They'll probably drive me insane and make me go crazy, or I don't know, cut off my ear. No.
And then Jefferson's date.
Stronger.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's getting stronger. And Jefferson's date, who he brought along for some stupid reason, maybe to impress her, goes,
is he sick of it?
Yeah, maybe he's just sick of it. He's like, all right, I'll bring in a girl, and the girl will break up the group, or something stupid. Something stupid.
Yeah, maybe she'll just get killed. Yeah.
Anyway, so Susie goes, oh well, it's a seashell. I want to hear it. So she takes the seashell, puts it up to her ear.
Susie, wait.
And it's too late. It's already up to the ear. And the Evil Doug goes, well, when you put the seashell to your ear is teleported to a loved one. Why? I don't have any loved ones. Well, you have a mother, don't you? Oh.
No, actually, you said she died in character creation. You said that, Doug. That she was dead.
Well, then I guess because you're in a relationship with Jefferson, that the ear goes to his character. So Jefferson, the ear falls into your hands.
Jeff just stares at him like full daggers, like he's literally like the 5 o'clock shadow grows more, like, and he just like the rage you see in him builds. He gains bags under his eyes. And those red lines that like look like he hasn't slept in a couple of days. He's like, you are telling me right now, it is a D&D thing where you use meta game knowledge of my real life self to put the ear of a loved one of a character in the hands of my character, who of course is a stranger to Susie's character, Diana what'd you call her? Why did you get to name her character, by the way? Awful. But yeah, Diana the Useless, which you gave her that title. Real cool of you, by the way. Really feel like heroes. Susie, don't patronize this man.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, we don't want to be nice to him anymore. I'm done being nice to him.
Okay. You suck, dog.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Yeah, she hates it. She doesn't like that name. Also, real low blow. Is that the way that you play D&D? You use metagame knowledge? Didn't you literally chide me 5 sessions ago for even remotely making a hint to metagame knowledge me and calling me like a scrub tier omega beta cuck for even thinking of using metagame knowledge in the game? And now you're outright using it yourself as the DM? Damn, dude, what does that make you?
Listen. Listen, Jefferson, I like your gumption. I like where your head's at. But listen, the way this works is the ear's got to go somewhere. And they don't have any loved ones. So I got to go for the next best thing, a loved one in your life. So, yeah.
You killed their loved ones in the backstory. You wouldn't even let them have them. She's like,
because the last time I let a character have parents, you use them to become kings of the world.
All right. That's fine.
Anyway, Jeffersons, you got an ear. What are you going to do with the ear?
Hell
we got that potion of troll blood, right? I'll just retouch it.
Doug sort of looks at that for a second and goes,
all right, smart enough. All right, well played.
all right, I appreciate it, yeah. And then he snaps his fingers as an idea hits him. You apply the troll blood, you now have 2 Deanna the Useless. So, double the useless. Oh, so I'm playing 2 characters now? No, shut up, Susie. Okay. As we've described, Doug is an asshole. Doug is an asshole.
Cool, sick. I'll be here tomorrow. Susie won't. Never speak to her again. Later.
Oh Lord.
He's like, you know what? Why don't we just not have session tomorrow? Dun 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 dun.
No, we have to meet. We've been over this, Jefferson. No matter how bad it gets, no matter what happens to the characters, we made a commitment when we were 6 that we were going to run the longest running D&D game ever. Don't you go back on your fucking promise. We were 6. I took that to heart. Do you know how long we've been doing this, Jefferson? I don't even know your name anymore, man. I don't know you.
Oh, yeah. You're one to talk. You're one to talk, Doug. Or should I call you Evil Doug? Bum 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 bum.
All right, what do you got?
I think it was like playing with Legos at 6.
Yeah, I was saying 6 was Legos. That's all I remember.
But instead, these 6-year-olds were playing with the following. My number 5 on the list, not my number 6, unfortunately, but well. Where was it here? All right, so after that, okay, so this is another like really, God, I hate this kind of item. Satan's Bow.
Oh, I think that's
page
actually
49
right
in the PDF.
Yeah, it's right.
Did you also have this one?
No, I know where it is though. Here we go.
Okay,
there we go. Satan's Bow.
This is so mean, man. And they only put it as like a 3 lethality. I think that's really insane. So, yeah, that'll be it right there.
Liz Danforth has developed a trilogy of item traps, each designed to deliver unto a delver a deadly dishing of dismay. Alliteration is cool in the 80s. Each trap, being essentially a simple in its construction, should work well in seemingly harmless locations. The thought of encountering Satan's bow makes me wince. The metal bow is skillfully crafted and glows with a magical radiance. The light is really just a sucker's hook. We love those, designed to attract characters grabbing for magical items. The bow is enchanted with a self-contained light spell to maintain this deception. The trap portion of the bow lies in the bowstring. The string is made of a very fine diamond dust studded wire. The bow itself, being made of metal, will not have the flex one would expect. The result, anyone trying to draw back the string of this bow will lose 3 fingers for their effort. The only way to avoid this fate is to use a thumb ring when drawing the string, which is sharp enough to cut through even light leather gauntlets, and anyone who tries to use a bow with anything heavier will experience a great deal of difficulty. Fuck you, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that is literally a magic. That's a magic item. Like, hey, man, you see an enchanted bow. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you?
This is one of those that the players get all excited and you go, hey, you lose 3 fingers. Shizno likes it though. Shizno likes it.
It's not perfect, Shizno. This is how you. This is literally, I want you to imagine after a very long, arduous encounter with one of the worst people that you've ever spent your time with, you finally get a reward from them. And you're like, damn, finally, after all that heartache and nightmare and disease and wretchedness, and like literally we lost like half the party, actual treasure, something cool. It's a metal bow. Man, this thing's gonna be so strong. It's like a Dragon Seeker's longbow or something here. This is gotta be like heavy damage, or maybe the enchantment on it, maybe it glows because any arrow that I I would use on it. Oh, enchants it with the power of like cold iron or something. Whoa, a magic bow that shoots anti-magic stuff. It can hurt devils. Holy shit, this is gonna be awesome. I gotta try it out. Yo, let's pull an arrow back and see what happens. You lose 3 fingers. Your hand is permanently scarred and you can never draw a bow again. No save.
I like Shizno's idea, though, that, you know, maybe if you somehow manage to avoid losing the fingers, use it as a garrote or a garrote or however the hell you actually say it, where you just slip up behind someone, put it around their neck, and go, whoop, well, problem solved.
True, but it's not presented as really cool garrote wire that might be magical, right?
This is true.
It's not even
this is true.
Like I want you to imagine. Okay, so how do we fix this? Instead of a fuck you item, you present the character with, say, let's say you do have a rogue on the party, so that this item makes sense. You want to reward and provide sometimes specific rewards for the people that are playing in order to keep them engaged and to keep them happy, have something cool for them to do. You provide a spool with 2 ends that end in these pulleys, right? Or like pulley holders. And it's literally is just this spool of this glistening and very fine wire. So now it is literally a wire, and you can see that it is a cold iron. It's cold to the touch. So you have to be very careful when you're holding it, because it's diamond sharp, and it is as cold as the day that it was forged. And the fires of Cold Fire Mountain. There we go. Whatever. And you now have like cold iron, maybe even super difficultly magical cold iron garret, right? That would be hype. That would be sick. That would be awesome. And it would be a sick reward for having to go through a really painful, awful trap dungeon, is to literally have that be the reward, or be able to get that, or be able to dismantle maybe one of the traps that turns into that, right?
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
that
I
would
like
be
that.
sick.
That's a really good idea. I like that.
This is just shoving treasure and making the players pay for wanting to try out the cool, fun thing that you've showed them. And this is, again, and every time the book fucking does this, I get upset. This is putting pain upon exploration. The exploration, finding out. This is one of the most funnest moments in the game, where you get a magic item. You get to try out what it does. Like, let's say you don't have any in checks or anything to make, and you just want to try out a magic item to see what it does, or maybe like try and figure it out through like tactile experiencing of the item, because maybe you're not smart enough to make the check, or you don't have anyone there who can make the check at this time, or we need to use upgrades now because this dungeon's so hard that I'm not going to be able to go back to town and pay 100 goals to have this identified. I need to use this now, so we're just going to try and figure out where it's going to fuck with it. And your gift for you experimenting, which is
no more fingers,
process, is you instantaneously lose a hand. Like, in essence, your hand is useless. One of your arms is just doesn't do anything anymore. You can't hold anything. You have no grip strength. You just lose fingers.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
I'm done in the campaign at this point. Like, I was gonna say, I would be like, hey man, thanks for having us over. Shake their hand a little bit, maybe a little bit more violently than I meant to do it. Get up, pack up my shit, not talk, not say anything. If I'm surrounded by a group of strangers that I didn't know, and they were snickering, or they were having a gag with all of this, yeah, just be like, hey man, thanks for the experience. I'll never forget it. And I hope the rest of you have a great rest of your life. And just peace. Just leave. Done. Like, actually done. This is what ungood D&D looks like. This is actually a triggering point so bad that I would be finished with that entire not just campaign, but the people playing with it. I would not want to talk to them again. I would not want to be a part of the experience. I would not want to do anything with any of those people at all whatsoever. I am finito. I am done. Yeah,
because at that point it's gone from being, a promise of reward to, I don't even get cool reward anymore. Why the fuck am I here? So, no, I'd be pretty much in the same situation, I feel. Though, ironically, and I was going to say this at the end, but I'll say this now, everything presented thus far, still better than Tomb of Horrors, even the 5e Tomb of Horrors. I just want you to think about that for a moment, that even to this day, Tomb of Horrors is that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I have been through the original, and I have been through the 5e Tomb of Annihilation. And honestly, I think I preferred the old one, because at least with the old one, there was the expectation of, oh, this shit sucks, we're all gonna die, let's just run through the meat grinder. The problem with Tomb of Annihilation in 5e is that there's a whole adventure before you get to the tomb.
A campaign.
Yeah,
an
whole
entire
campaign
of getting you ready to get up to level 9 or 10 to go and face the...
And you're doing cool shit. You know, you're riding dinosaurs, you're foraging in jungles.
There's like dwarven temples. You get like different navigators you can choose from. You're riding dinosaurs, taming dinosaurs, doing all sorts of stuff. There's
zombie T-Rexes. Think about that. A zombie T-Rex. That's fucking metal as shit. I want to fight that.
The whole island of Chull is omega sweet. And then the crown jewel is just a big stinker.
And it literally tells you in the beginning of the book, it's like, yeah, characters will die. Tell them to have them rolled up ahead of time. Okay, bye. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're like, haha, to maintain with the original sort of feel of the dungeon, you're just gonna die. And it makes no sense. It's just like, even with the redesign where they made things make more sense, be easier. Did they change that stupid poem?
They basically put it, because I don't want to spoil anything, they basically put it behind a religion type thing where if you've been throughout the module paying attention to the religion of what's going on in Chult, you can get the riddle. But if you haven't been paying attention, sucks to be you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. But, you know, that at least you still get a cool adventure up until that point. And what really sucks is that, like, you could have really built it's a campaign level where it's a multi-session, you are doing shit, and you could like be doing shit for quite a while before you even reach close to the center point of that, you know, hidden temple. And it's all cool, like kind of Aztec Mayan themed, but with dinosaurs and like blood cults and all this like crazy nonsense. It's so awesome. It's got really good theming. It's got deep jungle adventures and deep jungle terrors, and it's just awesome and fun. For the most part, I think it's a little hard on the there's deadliness to it, right? It's no walk in the park. You're gonna be eating bugs, and you're gonna be, you know, sleeping in swamp water, and there's definitely some hyper dangerous things there. But at the end of the day, you're having a blast. You're solving the craziness of it, and eventually you reach the middle.
I'm not gonna lie, I got to the opening of the tomb, lost the character in the opening room.
You're kidding me.
Not even joking.
And that's the thing, is that all that build up, all that stuff, everything that you've been doing, all this like fanciful prancing around this, you were literally building up this hero. And again, the new point, the revamped version of D&D is that you are a hero that is walking through a story that you are collectively all telling together. And yeah, you'll have ups and downs, but you won't usually have right out full bullshit deaths. At least, you know, not ones that can maybe be prevented. And Tomb of Horrors doesn't care.
My God, Lord Exile. I don't know if you've been following in chat. Lord Exile just fucking dad joked me. God damn it. What insect is found in the middle of a lobby? A bee.
I don't know.
A bee.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Hey, Color0011, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Let's
what up, Colors? Good to see you.
Let's go to oh hey, Hydrate too, thank you. Let's go ahead and let's do the next one. And we might rapid fire these because I only have about an hour and a half left, so we'll probably go through these a little bit quicker. So this next one is Hot Rocks, and this actually I think rewards anybody that is chemistry bent or paid attention in chemistry. But basically, and again, we'll do it as Evil Doug. All right, Jefferson, in a fountain of water, you see a necklace encased within the water. It's made of precious metal. There's 6 round stones and a diamond. And with your 23 in Detect Magic, you were able to tell that the diamond grants you an aura of invincibility that reduces all damage by 50 points.
Huh. Would be pretty useful if it wasn't horrifically trapped. I'm out.
Well, how do you know it's trapped? It could just be a cool necklace.
You trapped everything in this dungeon, and you are literally putting a magic item into my face. The last one sliced off of Susie's 3 fingers. There's no way I'm going to believe that this one is not trapped. Look, it's a really sick magic item, and that's really cool and all, but I don't know, man. I can't trust you anymore, dude.
Good, you're learning.
Okay. You know, it's been fun. It was fun. I had fun. I think we should game with other gamers.
But what about our promise? We were 6-year-old. What do you...
I don't care about our promise. I don't like you anymore, Doug. Everything you've put me through, dude. I feel like I've aged like 10 years. Like you physically put me through the ringer, man, and I just can't. I can't stand it anymore, man. I don't wanna hang with you. I don't care what diabolical nonsense this rock does, this treasure does. But you know what? Here, for old time's sakes, I'll reach into the water and see if I can grab it.
Yeah, you grab it and pull it out, no problem.
What? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, but it's encased in something, right? So I can't use it.
No, it's just a necklace with stones and cool diamond that grants you 50 reduction in damage.
Are you lying?
Nope.
What's the activation for it?
Just wear it.
Sus. But you know what? One last ride, Doug. I'll wear it.
All right, let's continue on in the dungeon. And then, like 30 minutes later, you go, so, Jefferson, you're still wearing that necklace, right?
Yep.
Well, you're noticing that the stones, not the diamond, the stones are becoming very, very hot.
Oh. All right, well, I'm going to take the stones off, and if there's any way to cut the stones away from the diamond, then I'll do that.
Done, Jefferson. Well done. You figured out that the stones are actually made out of phosphorus, an element that burns after prolonged contact with air. Well done. So yes, you now have a magical diamond that, whenever worn, gives you that reduction in damage. You've managed to avoid my clever, fiendish trap that I had planned for you. Well done.
Cool. I mean, I guess I could have activated it, so I would have only taken it half, but, I mean, it wouldn't really have mattered, because remember, you just made the whole planet immune to fire.
I never said it wasn't radioactive damage. And that's when somebody from the other side of the table goes...
Doug.
That's when, they go, well, actually, Doug, if you paid attention in chemistry, you would know that phosphorus can't be radioactive. Shut up, Mark. Nobody cares. Well, you brought me to this game to inject realism, so I'm just trying my best. This is why no one likes you, Mark. This is why no one likes you.
And then Jeff points over and he's like, yeah, Doug, you brought Mark. We're done, okay? You clearly don't care about D&D, and you never have. Ever since you touched this stupid book and your soul got ripped out of you and the soul of some dude called Grimtooth the Evil got put in, you've been a real piece of garbage, and I'm done with it. Have a good life, man. Have fun with Mark. I hope he believes you too, dude.
It got dark. It got really dark. Oh, Lord. What do you got next for us, Beno?
What do I got next for you? Number 6. Oh, this one, I think. This is actually one of the lighthearted, goofy ones. PDF page 57.
Going down, maybe?
Going down indeed.
Oh yeah, I almost picked this one. This one was fun.
This one's actually, I like this one and I think it's adorable. A grim trap going down was submitted by Carl Munchie. Carl, you're the one who I have to give a nice, small, slow clap to because this was a pretty good one. This trap should convince the character to take the stairs. Whoa! The trap appears to be a standard elevator. That's right. In whatever setting you're putting, I don't care if it's in the middle of the Middle Ages and it's a high fantasy, magical world. It's an elevator, and it looks like an elevator with standard elevator doors, a standard elevator explanation above the top, a little button to go and open the elevator doors. It makes a little ding sound and everything. It does the whole shebang. It is a dead-ass elevator. I don't care. I don't care where you're putting it or what you're doing. You are now putting an entire elevator into your world, and I hope that you're all okay with that, because I am, and I think all your players would be, because I think, honestly, if you told me everything was going on and then just like you see an elevator, it'd be like, hold on, what do you mean like an elevator? Like a magic elevator? Like it's like a bunch of rocks and just circles? Like, no, I mean elevator. Like kind of air through. You remember you came upstairs in the from the lobby, right? You saw that elevator that was there. That is what you see, and I would love that. So it's so funny, it's so goofy, it's so out of nowhere. And I know, like, yeah, if you're playing with serious like Omega RPers, maybe they're not going to have a joke bone in their body, but honestly, every single person I've played D&D with has had chill in them, and I feel like there's no person who would be like, man, that's not just great, I love that there's just an elevator here.
Note to self: include elevator in future one shot.
It's just adorable. It's just this like, because you know that you're having fun with your pals, and that's why it's okay that you're just you're vibing with it. The trap appears.
Tape player, thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Tape player, welcome aboard to the, what is your gaming crew called?
We actually call it the Metagamers here. I always forget to say it though, but welcome to the Metagamers.
What's up to the metaverse, which is Facebook? What's bad? We're back.
Oh god, yeah, that was small tangent. When that fucking thing happened, I was like, god damn it, now Metagamers sounds horrible, like it's a Facebook thing that now I have to change shit. This is not cool.
No, it's okay. People know what metagamers are. That's a standard that's a standard tabletop role-playing term. It's all good. It's fine. You're good. It's fine.
I had to explain it to my grandmother once. Was not a fun time.
No, I can't imagine that would be a grand explanation. The trap appears to be a standard elevator. Yet when the down button is pushed, and it will be, it's the only button on the control panel, the floor will fall away, and those standing inside the elevator will plummet into the drop shaft that lies below. Remember how I said the greatest thing in the world, and the greatest of all traps, is a fucking pit? Mm-hmm. It's a pit. It's always just a pit. Gravity's my best friend. At the bottom of the shaft is a teleporter pad. After the character hits the ground and takes whatever damage is appropriate for a horrible, horrible fall like that, the pad will teleport him back to the top of the shaft. If the character still has his wits about him, he may try to catch the rim of the shaft at this point. Otherwise, he falls down again, starting the gruesome cycle over and over and over again. Furthermore, the more damage a character takes or is forced to endure, the slimmer will be his chances of grabbing the rim and the shaft, pulling himself to safety. This one does have a chance to live. It doesn't immediately kill you and is goofy and fun. Plus, it is a classic trap of it's a fucking pit. Yeah. Always fun, always funny. I love that the solution to this is to be a wizard and featherfall. Always. Half of these traps are I featherfall. And that's like by the way,
also Lord Exile, no, it's not shafts that Beno likes, it's the balls, because remember
it's the balls, yeah.
You gotta take care of those balls.
I'm a sphere man. I'm a sphere man. First balls, now shafts. I'm starting to see a theme here. Yeah, I'm a sex gamer.
Any teleportation? Yeah, good point out here, Tape Player. Teleportation would work here as well. Yeah.
Teleportation would work. If you have Misty Step or something,
Misty
that would
work.
absolutely get you out of there. There's so many cool things. I would give everyone a reflex save. If you've got like a pole or something, this is a smaller area. You can just like use that to brace yourself. And then people, if let's say you even did the pole idea, people on their way through the teleporter to come back and hit again, they can even grab onto the pole as well. Maybe you do the splits really good. You're like, a Van Damme, and you're just, and you do the splits really well, and you just kind of like hold yourself there. There's so many cool ways to get out of this. It doesn't instantly kill you. It's just punishing, and then it's cyclical, so you have chances. Even if you
it's
are
not a
just
save or die.
Falling, it's not a save or die. There's so many cool things with this trap, and it's all framed inside of the goofiness of an actual honest to God fucking elevator.
I honestly think that, this might be, giving you a little bit of metagame knowledge, but I think a variation of this trap I might throw at you guys because again, you're going to do a dungeon the next time you go through with Sarek and Witchy. So I think some variation of this that isn't as deadly and is more fun. Like maybe you just keep falling into custard pie because custard pie is always funny. But it's one of those things where I can already imagine where Witchy's like, well, I'm a fairy, so I can fly, but Beno, you're made of metal, and you're just continually falling into custard pie. What do I do? And then there's a whole process there, which I think is interesting.
Yep. Oh my God, it'd be like flaming quiches after I'd be done with it. Oh my God, I would set them aflame because my entire body's made of fire at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Like I said, it's a cool idea.
I completely forgot I was immune to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
But on the subject of pitfalls, it's
great game, by the way. Did you ever play Pitfall as a kid?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so there's two versions. There's the super old school version that's like this ancient Atari game where you're like literally just a couple of pixels on a screen trying to like get on top of croc skulls and all this stuff. And then there's a remade version of it where you're actually like an Indiana Jones character having to fight through jaguars and whatnot. Both of them, fantastic, wonderful. 10 minutes, 20-minute game. Play it, enjoy it, have a great time. What do you got for me?
I've got you something that's similar to a pit. It's called The Tripwire That Isn't. It's on page 23. And we're throwing Max Stackpool under the bus here, but Mike's first trap is The Tripwire That Isn't. So the main feature of the trap is a standard hinge section of floor balanced on a central fulcrum. So it's kind of similar to that rotating room that you mentioned earlier, the ball-bearing corridor. But here's the difference, is that the floor is going to give way into the slightest weight, which then goes into a pit, a cage, or spikes, or custard pies, whatever. But what the adventurers notice is that immediately there's a highly visible tripwire. And although it says here that you're not supposed to put glowing neon lights and flashing arrows, I think if you did put glowing neon lights and flashing arrows, that would be better. But if you trip the wire, then 2 spring-loaded steel spikes fire into the floor and secure the floor from rotating.
Like it helps?
Yeah, the solution to the trap is to trip the tripwire. I mean,
Okay.
Can you imagine? I don't know if Jefferson would be in it, but it's like, all right, so Mark, you see a tripwire in the room. You can test the floor a few times, and you see that the floor is ready to give way. What do we want to do, Mark?
Obviously, I'm not going to go for that tripwire. That's just a big trap. No way am I going for that. I try and walk across. I balance it. I use a balance check. Let me roll my dexterity. That's a 1.
And you fall into the pit of doom.
Oh, crap. Well, at least I didn't fall into that tripwire.
Well, interestingly, because Susie's still here. Susie, are you still seeing Jefferson? Is he all right? He hasn't been returning my calls.
Why is Susie still here?
I don't know.
Bro, this is a weird occurrence that you've brought into this story.
Oh, just came by.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But no, this is one of those traps that, I think if you were to throw this after like a super hardcore one, like the ones above, like if you were to throw like a floor creature, an illusion, and then you did this trap, I think that would be kind of a cool down where it's like, oh, I see. All right, so you're not trying to make us paranoid assholes. You're actually teaching us that sometimes the obvious solution is the one that isn't right in front of you, kind of a thing.
Right, but then a bunch of these other traps contradict all of that stuff that he's trying to teach. Mm-hmm. So it's literally like he's just being a nonsense asshole. And that's my problem with it, is that there's so many of these that are just nonsense, like super evil. I do what I want and I get away with it. Yeah, haha, twirl my mustache. And our counterbalancing cross points, where it's just like some of them are the obvious thing, some of them are super non-obvious thing, some of them punish people for being proactive and being smart. Like just punish them. Just punish them. If you be smart, you're punished. If you be dumb, you're punished. You're just punished. That's what this book is. It's just like, I know it's obviously you get to pick and choose whatever the traps are going to be, but I want you to imagine someone who's like, I'm going to use all of these. There is no cohesion in the dungeon that this person is going to be holding, and is just going to be this huge cluster, especially if contradicting traps are like one after another. One that teaches players to, hey, maybe think smart and use your resources, and the one that's just like, how dare you be smart and use your resources, you fool. Your reward is contact wall explosion. That's what you get for putting pythons into the wall. Holy crap, how dare you use your brain. Get an explosion.
I think actually, it's funny you mentioned this. I think there is a very specific context when something like that would work. You would have to say up front, you're going to be like, all right, look guys, the whole dungeon's just going to be traps. It's going to be annoying. It's going to test your puzzle solving. It's going to test your resources and the way you're thinking about things. But chances are every room you're going to die. So here's a bunch of beer. Here's some pretzels. And we're just going to see how far you guys get. And again, I'm not doing this to be an evil dick. I just found this really evil book, and I want to see if you guys, can get through it.
I thought of the only situation where this would be okay. Mm-hmm. You are doing this for a video, like a YouTuber video of being like, hi everyone, this is the Grimtooth challenge, and we're gonna see how far we can get with one character in ELH's version of Hell Dungeon 4, because this is the fourth time he's had to remake it because all of the other ones were too stupid. So here's Dungeon 4. We're giving our best shot.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a really good idea.
Why are we playing this? Why are we playing? It's just like a breakdown. What the fuck is wrong with this? Why are we fucking doing that? Dude, I fucking hate everything.
No, you know what? No joke. I might tweet that later. That's a really good idea, actually.
That is the only situation where using a Grimtooth style entire dungeon of pain is okay. Is that if you are doing it for, hey, this is a challenge, this is for a YouTube video, this is literally just content, and it's just people being miserable, but like
in a fun way, yeah.
Hamming up the misery where you can get to actually play with it, and there's an audience for being like, yeah, somebody's enjoying our pain, right? That is the only way I can think of it being fun. What's his face? Equals 3, or no? Who was it? XP to level 3. He had like an actual play of them playing through, what was it called? The Book of Horrors. No, not the Book of Horrors.
The Tomb of Horrors,
right? Mm-hmm. The newest one.
Tomb of Annihilation is the newest one.
Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation, and they just were miserable. And like it wasn't like awesome, but it made for a good vid of being like, hey, here's my breakdown of why the Tomb of Horrors is dog water and what I would do to fix it. And that this is not okay. And he's like, the original one's not okay, and this one's still not okay. And it's like, here's what I would do differently. And it was a great video. And that's how you take content that is meant to harm people just trying to have a fun time and spin it into a fun way, where you take the harm and play it off for laughs, for the enjoyment of just as many people who you can get to laugh.
Now here's an interesting thing that Tape Player brings up, and I think there's some merit to this as well. And I think that's what initially Tomb of Horrors and Tomb of Annihilation was meant to be, outside of Gygax just trying to screw his players over. I think one or two of these traps could make you get even angrier at the big bad evil guy and kind of rally the group against them, as Tape Player says. But you have to do it in a way that isn't, again, back to back. Like, you couldn't throw like 3 of these back to back at your players, because at that point, as was just said, it's a meat grinder. It's not fun unless you're doing it for an audience, etc., etc.
Yep.
But it's a good point. I think, again, the key is in spacing them out and in giving them enough time to react and not just save or sucking, because save or suck is never good.
Save or suck is one of the most vile experiences. It's just like, and you know what? That's how I lost my first character. Save or die.
What effect was it?
Ethereal doppelganger wasn't like a finger of death. I think it was a level drain, but we were level 1 or 2, and it was
that's instant death.
It drains 3 levels. You're instantaneously dead. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's how I lost. That's how I lost my first character. Me too. It was. I was playing Ben. I was playing my VTuber self that I turned my my one of my most favorite and ancient D&D characters into my VTuber self.
You heard it here first, folks. Here's lore on Beno.
All right. Enough of that nonsense. Nobody wants to hear that. But just dead ass points at me. Energy beam, level drain beam, boom, done. Hit floor, dead. Dunzo. Probably coming back as like Bodak or something after that. I don't know. I forget what. Oh, white was it? I forget what level drain did. It's bad stuff. Maybe it's only specific undead monsters that do that. Maybe when it's a spell, you don't actually come back as something else. But I could be wrong.
Either way, it's not a good thing to throw at a first time player.
I'm dead. It didn't matter. We all just died there. It was awful. That guy was really strong and overtuned, I think. And our DM was like, "Oh, I fucked up." That was his first TPK. He had never done that up until that point, and he was like.
So actually, it's interesting you bring that up. Do you consider a TPK to be a failure on the part of the GM, or a failure on the part of the roles, or a failure on the part of the players?
I think everything that happened in that situation, I think we were done with that campaign, and it was just like I wanted to play how the encounter would have gone out, and it was a bad one. One of our players was trying to kill themselves already before that. I forget
in game.
Like, in game. Like I think a despair effect or something. But he was playing this like homebrew class that was all about like not dying. It was like a very high con survivalist class. And he was just having a rough time dying. But I hammed it up so hard. They're like, dude, we gotta get what was his name? We gotta get Eric out of the water. And I'm like, no, he's gone. He's dead. And there's no hope for him. He's clearly very alive in the water, like completely fine, not dead at all. I'm like, no, he's gone. It's over for him. We gotta defeat this giant elemental or this ethereal doppelganger to avenge him. Gets smoked in the chest with an energy ray and just eats shit. First one to die in the whole party, and then after that he just dismantles the whole team, and it just turns to piss. And it's just like, I think we're done with the campaign. I feel kind of bad. It was partially my fault that I think that campaign went to piss, because I cannot handle mind control effects very well.
Oh, same. I hate mind control stuff.
It is like a huge no zone for me. I'd like super like okay, some like maybe one-off creatures or something of that nature, and it's just like not for very long. It's just like for a scene or something that they have it going on. But like this is a doppelganger is effectively a worse version of a mind control effect, because it is a entire replacement of a person that used to be there and they're no longer there because they've been killed, taken, or like completely subsumed by this alien creature that just comes in and pretends to be them and has access to their memories, their emotions, and can pretend to be them flawlessly. And the entire campaign at some point was revealed that the prime material plane was being taken over by this council of ethereal doppelgangers. I want you to imagine how terrifying that is.
Didn't they, and this is gonna expose me, didn't they literally make a My Little Pony episode about that. I swear they did.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Not me, bro.
I don't know. It's I haven't been in those circles for ages, but I swear that was like one of the end season episodes that they did something like that.
In the city that we were in, which was this huge steam city, we ended up getting this very, very sacred root that, when burned, will reveal the presence of shapeshifted creatures. And we put it in the central vat, so the entire city lit up and revealed so many mind flayers living above the normal populace that it was insane. And it was going to be like a...
Well, let's just nuke the city from orbit.
I literally, not only that, but it was like the whole world was getting taken over by these guys. And it was just like, we couldn't run anywhere because anywhere we went, there was always threat of who is a mind flayer. And it was like a ultra paranoia campaign. Mm-hmm. I can't do that. I can't. I literally can't. And I just flat out told him, I'm like, I'm so sorry. You put in so much effort and so much work into this. I can't play this campaign. Like, it's too stressful for me. It's just, I can't. I'm a very... You may know this now, but I'm a very paranoid person in real life, specifically about my safety and things of that nature. And I tend to not want to play that in my escapist game about having fun to get away from problems of reality. A problem of reality that I have a lot is that I have a ton of anxiety from the amount of paranoia that I have. So when the game itself becomes a consistent, all-consuming paranoia fest where every character doesn't know if they can trust to the person that they're speaking to, because anyone can be a doppelganger.
Yeah, that really screws with you. It really does change your escapism.
It's literally like I destroy the escapism to just live the reality that I'm already living. And it's just like, I don't want to play. I'm sorry. Like, you went through so much effort. This is such a cool setting. I love everything that you did, except the doppelgangers.
Well, it certainly sounds like a fun campaign, but I know exactly where you're coming from. What I would say is avoid Icewind Dale. Avoid the Frozen adventure that they put out. I don't know if Shizno's still here, but Shizno could tell you that it feels like every other fight in Icewind Dale has mind control effects, and he's playing a barbarian. So he gets mind controlled 99.9% of the time. But no, one quick thing before we move on to Beno's number 7 is Tape Player did bring up the question of, do you think you can have a TPK where it is no one's fault and or everyone is okay with the result? I would say yes. There are ways to do it. Again, you have to have a table where everybody understands, hey, a TPK is possible. This is like the end fight of a game or end fight of a campaign.
Where everyone sacrifices themselves and is willing to plunge like their sword into the eternal darkness to be like, to like trap him in stone forever, but so will they, right?
Right.
And that's TPK, everyone dies.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the context is what matters there. And it's something where, and you know, this is just me spitballing from what you've said so far, Beno, but maybe if there was a situation where you could sacrifice your character to rid the world of all these doppelgangers, you know, I could see, I could see your character going for that based on what you said, because not only is that a escapism thing of, I've got to save the world, but in real life is, I can just sacrifice myself to get rid of all this anxiety. Yes, please. Like, I don't know. I see that as it being an interesting scenario, but again, it's something the player has to be led to. You can't, point at a player and go, you will do this kind of a thing.
Right. In the specific, one that you did there, where you're like, hey man, you can get rid of your paranoia by sacrificing yourself, that is not a good parallel to do, just because that in itself is just like one more. It brings it to reality, and
maybe a bit nihilistic there. Maybe I should bring that back. My apologies.
No, that's okay. It's just that I was just like, I'm like, man, what would solve all this paranoia if I just
left
in a game.
In a game. No,
just in a game.
It's interesting you say that, because a lot of the style, and we'll get back to the point here shortly. A lot of the changes, like you've at least heard of George R.R. Martin. You know what he writes, kind of a thing.
Yes,
There is a huge shift in fantasy writing, science fiction writing, etc., where nihilism or shit sucks, everything sucks, that's starting to take over, and a lot of people are contributing that to be Martin's fault because of how Martin writes his stories. But I don't know if I'd put personal stock in that, but I thought it was an interesting thing to bring up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. That's a fair take. I don't think that it's entirely his fault, and I don't think that
I think it's a subject of the changing of times kind of a thing.
The culture and the things that we experience, the things that we enjoy, and the things that we like is cyclical. So we will see the return. How many times have we seen the return of pirates as a main super cool theme? All it takes is one movie or one hit game or something to come in that is like, hey, the themes and everything that's happening in this are so, prelative that an entire generation of like kids and everything are going to latch onto it like crazy. Thanos and whatever was going on with the adventure for superheroes has been pushed so hard because that was like the big thing for such a long time now. That is like the stage that we were in. And I don't know if we've fully got away from it yet, but you had like, sword and sorcery from Game of Thrones. That was super huge. That took over the world for quite a little bit there. While the show was going on, until the writers cocked up the ending and then everyone got pissed. Then you had before that Pirates of the Caribbean was massive when it came out. It was enormous. It kicked off this huge pirate kick for everyone. It was wild and crazy, and everything and everyone was ever talking about was like pirates rock, pirate rock, pirates fucking rule. There's definitely like stages in which people have been super into ninjas. It's all this pop culture nonsense and pop culture attachment to a certain thing, genre, or sense of stuff, and it has cycles. Eventually superheroes will phase out. People will get bored of it. It's apparently taken a while because we've had so goddamn much of it, but
well, it's because John Disney's backing it all. If John Disney wasn't backing it,
exactly, John Disney can make anything sell, and that's why they're like, well, we're gonna drive superheroes to the ground until nobody wants to hear the word fucking superhero ever again. But I digress. Cyclical. It definitely could change, definitely could alter. I forgot my original point. I am just talking at this point. Let's go to the next trap.
Let's go to your number 7 on this one.
So this one's also kind of a goofier one.
All right.
Page 35 in the PDF, smashing floor trap.
Oh yeah, this one. Also, I do like they of the wording of this one. They deliberately tell you that it's a save or die.
Yeah, it is a save or die. 4 skulls for the danger level of this bad boy. And this steps off of the new segment, which is called Step and Die. So it's just like it's a quarter murder. So we have the unfortunate John T.T. Longenbach to thank for the smashing floor trap. As Nigel Thornberry shows up, and you can really tell it's going to be, a real bad time because his face is on the floor itself. It is a basic example of a step and die trap. The trap is activated by a pressure plate designed to cut loose when at least 75 pounds of pressure is put upon it. When the trap is sprung, a tightly coiled spring sends the entire floor section smashing against the ceiling. Most anyone caught by this trap is a goner, or, to quote John, the person can be mailed to the funeral using only one stamp. Of course, John made this comment before the postal rate increases. Nobody knows what the hell that is.
Nobody knows.
That is the most dated joke in this entire book. Nobody has... Look at yourselves, all right? Not one of you have sent a goddamn letter. I know you haven't. Don't lie to me. Don't be like, I've sent a letter. Shut up. No, you're lying. Not one.
Sent one yesterday, actually.
Don't you dare.
It was a card. It was a wedding card. I had to send the card.
Fake. You're lying. Someone else has sent it up for you. You're lying 100%.
No, I have stamps.
All right, Oldman McOld over there. What does it feel like in your little rocking chair, buddy? I didn't know you could even get out of your bed today. Oh, how's the How's the prune
Yeah, I mean,
juice?
even tape players with me. Tape players got it. The joke is that, the stamp just keeps going up in price. So,
All right, tape. All right, exile. All right, fakers. All right, fake geek gamer girls. Get out of here with your fake lies. No one sent a stamp.
How can you live in Canada and not have stamps? That one cuts deep because Beno is from Canada.
Stamps aren't real. You made them up. It's as fake as birds. Nice try, surveillance system. Get away from me. Ohio is real. Yeah, Ohio's a place. Wow, good try, dude. Yeah, falling for that one, definitely. What was I born yesterday? Fake, geek, gamer, girl, gatekeeping, gaslighting nonsense. That's what this smashing floor trap is, and his big joke in it. Yeah. Stamps aren't real. Letters aren't real.
On the subject of things that may or may not be real, we're going to go to number 8 on my list, the Rolling Stone. This is on page 33. I like this one because it sort of goes against common thinking. So let me describe it and you'll see why. So it's another one of those classic Indiana Jones style traps where there's an enormous stone ball bouncing down the corridor towards you. And your initial inspection is, oh, all right, we'll just throw ourselves against the wall, the ball will roll past, etc., etc. So where this gets devilish is that the corridor walls are covered with small poison-coated spikes. And the only way to get through the trap is either to step into the ball or just have thick enough clothing to not be stuck by the spikes. But here's the kicker. The ball's an illusion. So it's meant to force you to throw yourself against the wall, but if you just sit there and take the ball to the face, nothing happens.
That's so... You see what I mean by, like, wonky design?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just, this one's like, haha, go against convention. Don't throw yourself against the wall, because the wall is the actual trap. Oh, if you just stay there and act normal, you're perfectly fine.
Like, I think if we combine this one with the tripwire, like if you did this one or the tripwire before this one, I think it would work. Wherein the players would be like, that ball's not real. There's no way.
Exactly. You can set it up, or the illusion one at the very beginning where you're just haha, the floor, the spikes were fake. And then with like, oh, the tripwire is actually the good thing. And then this one with the ball is fake. Like, so many of these you could string into like a false trap dungeon. And that would be a good dungeon. That would be like a better dungeon. Obviously this is still like going to be rough and kind of harsh, but it is a better themed dungeon. And you could even call it like, some very obvious thing like Zimmy the Trickster's
Zimmy the Trickster, that's a good name.
House of Good Times, right? And it's just like,
I'm gonna write that down because that's gonna be what the dungeon's gonna be. Zimmy the Trickster's House of Good Time. All right, cool.
House of Good Times, and then you can of course disguise all the traps into like some like a good time house sort of feel. You enter the living room.
I don't know what is that new horror game that just came out.
Which one?
Is it Poppy
I don't
Poppy
know,
Play Place? There's some
Play Place, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it's the one where it's like, oh, it's Big Bird or some nonsense, but not Big Bird, it's some random puppet thing, and then it grows shark teeth and tries to eat your face, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but it looks scary.
It actually looks genuinely terrifying, which is something that horror games don't usually do for me anyway. So, but no, tape player, you're right in that if you were to give away some context clues, like, you're not feeling vibrations through the floor from the ball, or it's not making noise, you would have to rely on either their perception checks or passive perception. But it's very hard to do that and not give the trap away. So
super true.
There's ways to do it. It's just you have to be careful about how you do it.
Yep. Yeah, you could definitely set it up. That's going to be really difficult. I think that the balancing point for trying to explain that in a non-giving it away type situation would be very hard, especially because like modern illusions usually have all of the senses, like they're coming at you with all the senses. It's just until it actually hits where it just that's what gives up the ghost. And even sometimes then no, you have to like disbelieve it, and
it's one of those things where you have to tell the GM, I choose to disbelieve, and then the GM's like, oh well, you've said the magic word for the day. Yeah, that's happened to me like 3 times, and I hate it every time. But yeah, what do you got for us for number 8?
You no longer believe that you're drowning in acid. Unfortunately, your lungs experience it.
Mm-hmm. Your mind might disbelieve, but
your lungs believe. Oh my god! Let me see what we got. We're almost done. I think this one was goofy. Page 30, Folly Flight. This one's like kind of wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Okay.
Where is he here? Yes, Folly Flight. So they say that this is like the murderers, they call this one. I thought it was a little wild, but I don't know. Another of John's traps also takes its toll upon parties who venture up a flight of stairs called Folly Flight. This trap utilizes a deceptively simple construction to devastating effect. The section of stairs that comprises the trap perfectly matches the rest, but in reality, it is a carefully balanced ploy. If enough weight is placed upon the stairs uphill of the fulcrum, the entire device will swing downward, dumping the party to whatever unkind fate the GM has waiting for them. Exactly when this trap is triggered is a magic of logic and discretion. If a single character navigates the stair, he might feel of shifting beneath him as a forewarning when he crosses the fulcrum. Depending on his speed, he might actually recover in time to retreat back over the pivot point. If the character was running, the chances of his doing this are very slim. If an entire party moves along the stair, the weight won't begin to shift until the bulk of the procession, oh my god, the wording, the bulk of the procession, the procession of players, has crossed the pivot point. How radical the shift of weight is will determine the speed with which the stairs drop. Note that the speed with which the bro, my god. Okay, with which the stairs drop. Note that the stairs are supported only at their downwards end. Thus, a character who steps foot upon the trap from upstairs would instantly trigger this trap and this device. So this is a drop shoot. Yeah, it's another pitfall. But what they pitfall into, you can have a lot more fun with it than just, it's spikes again, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one can be like a rumor setter, or like a deeper dungeon delve into like an instantaneous you're actually now 2 or 3 floors way lower than you should have been. And I would definitely put them on like a safety slide or something that would just take them to a much more dangerous part of the area without having gotten the experience and whatnot of the earlier stages, if that's how you're running your tower or descent dungeon or whatever you want to have it, right?
It's funny you mention that, because there's something, again, I have to be careful not to spoil anything. There's something very similar to this in Tomb of Annihilation. Where you can deliberately trigger something like this and skip past like 2 or 3 floors of the dungeon.
Holy smokers.
So it's actually something where when we did Tomb of Annihilation, we accidentally did that, which was a good thing because we didn't have to deal with, that many levels of traps. But it's something where a trap like this, I actually wouldn't qualify it as a murderer. I would just qualify this as a almost like a question mark or a pitfall plus, if you will.
Again, so many of these are just pitfalls and just gravity falling.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that.
Pitfalls are great, but at the same time, I'm just thinking about imagine Witchy having to deal with half of the.
She would just float there. She's a fairy. She just floats there.
It just deletes the entire trap, and it's just Like the whole thing is useless. Is just useless. She wouldn't even have the stair wouldn't even activate because she wouldn't even be needing to.
She'd be fine. She's just like it's right there. All right. Well, next, this is not quite an illusion, but it's called Hop, Skip, and a Jump, and it's on page 19.
All right.
All right. So the hop, the skip, and the jump is deceptively simple in that there's going to be a trench before you. It's about 4 or 5 feet across, and there's something disagreeable in it. Acid, fire, spikes, an angry Jefferson waiting for somebody to come in so he can satisfy his bloodlust, or whatever. Something's in the pit. You tell them that you can probably jump across the pit with, a good check, but if you fall into the substance, then bad things happen. But here's the kicker. The first character to jump across slams into an invisible wall and falls into the pit.
Man, that's ruthless.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, if you have acid, fire, spikes, whatever, that first character is doomed. They slam into the invisible wall, Wile E. Coyote style, go into the pit, and they're dead. Now, I do like what this trap does do, and it says that if you think the trap is too deadly, you can put up a sheet of heavy glass, which would then mean that, they could just smash through the glass instead of bouncing off of it. But it also goes on to say that if you want to be very insidious, and those nasty delvers certainly deserve whatever abuse you can dish out on. Who says that? Who says that?
What is wrong with this? What is wrong with you, Grim? What's wrong with you, dude?
Who says
What's wrong
this?
with you? Who are you, dude? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who woke up?
But here's the thing: is
did you wake up and I bet he literally just wakes up and every day some dude, probably his neighbor, puts bear traps and mouse traps all over his floors. His entire life is literally getting around traps. That's why he made this book.
Clearly, and the best part is there's a second book that he made. No joke.
Get away from me! What the hell is the second book?
There's a second book, and its name is Grimtooth's Traps 2, but it's not even 2 like the number. It's TOO.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the nasty delver's advice says that you should cover the pit with a trap door. That way one person falls into the pit, and then another person falls in the pit when they fail to jump across. Yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. But yeah.
Okay.
What do you got for number 9?
Man, this is so ruthless.
No
one would play, and this is what I mean is that this is, and it's coming back to this too. It's just some of these are just so rude that you just don't play with the person. You're you actually just put a.
Actually, Tape Player brings up a good point. Is that this does feel like the D&D version of Penthouse Letters, where you write in about the traps that you totally pulled on your group. You know what? Now that you say that, I can totally see that being a thing. Where Grimtooth was like, "All right, guys, I'm gonna be, this is in some magazine, like a dragon magazine or something." He's like, "All right, guys, send in all your stories about how you trapped your group," and then all those GMs who have never had a group in their life, or they pulled it on their party and then they didn't have a group anymore. They're like, "Well, I have a story for you."
Or they just made it up and it's a creative writing prompt because instead they just never had any friends to pull it on, because who the fuck would fall for this? Because who the fuck would play with you in the first place? Because you designed this type of trap and so you don't have any friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
So it's just creative writing from super lonely creeper level DMs that just don't have friends, and it's just why, bro? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Just chill. People need to learn to chill. Just a little bit of chill. Bring it back a bit. Take your intense aura. Take your intense creepy fantasies. I don't want to hear your creepy piss dungeon. We're not playing that. Okay? We're not going to do that ever. And have a seat and just vibe back. Take a breath and just think about, hey, how can I make someone's day better? How can I make someone smile? And that is how you will make friends. by, I don't know, giving a shit about another human being other than yourself, and instead of satisfying your own creepy lust and going creepy fetishes and nightmare level addictions to whatever horrible fantasy that you want to happen, that you need to see happen, that you gotta have happen. You take those and you fold that into a ball and you bury that deep in the core of the pit of your stomach, and you let that dissolve in your stomach acid, and you forget about that, because that's not fucking happening. Because what the fuck, bro? Calm, please. This is why you don't have any friends. You need to put those dark thoughts away. Please, gamer, I beg of you. Cool. I'm glad I got through to you. Just kidding. That's not how you get through to anyone.
It's really not, unfortunately. But no, Tape Player does bring up another point that I think we missed earlier, was that if you were to make these comical and make them not lethal, like...
Oh, yeah.
Again, you know, if you made them comical, I think it would almost be like a, oh, guys, we totally got owned by that last trap. Let's see what the next trap is. And, you know, they're almost...
Yeah, like... This is an actual fun house. Like, I want you, like, this is my kooky trap house of fun. Like what's that? Timmy the Trickster.
Hold on, I wrote it down. Where is it?
Zimmy the Trickster's
House of Good Times. Yep.
Oh my God, I preemptively called, and like you just, instead of, like you just said, instead of all these super deadly traps, it's just actually like a House of Good Times. The ball bearing trap beforehand, where it takes the entire room and slides it down, that pit that's under there is a ball pit. And the automatic crossbow launcher is a ball launcher that fills the pit, so that eventually you just have a pit that's big enough that you can just
step out of,
swim your way out of, and just reach the top, and you're like,
I have this image in my head where it's like, okay guys, we're in a ball pit. I think we're okay. Oh, what the hell hit me? Ow, what the fuck? Why are there balls? Stop hitting me from the ceiling.
You take no damage, but you do feel a slight annoyance as the balls continually pour in endlessly, as though it's some sort of automatic ball launcher. Like it refills the balls. You notice that at the very top there seems to be a sensor that's barely visible, little red light, that seems to indicate the top of the ball pit. And perhaps there is some sort of ball alleviation mechanism, but...
Ball alleviation mechanism.
Yes, welcome to my ball pit. Did you have fun? What about the rainbow star room? I like to call that. It's got a, little fancy illusions all over the wall, sprinkling rainbows all about. How about my glitter maze? You surely are doomed. Like this villain who doesn't understand evil, so it's just all this goofy fun stuff. Zimmy the Trickster is a fucking idiot, doesn't understand evil. Trying to learn what evil is, but he just thinks it's just good times. So his whole dungeon is this absolute rocket blast.
I have to prevent myself from running this for you now. Like I'm so tempted. So tempted.
Okay. I told the henchmen to replace all the deadly stuff with something easier, since you guys suck. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Number nine. All right, hold on. Number 9. Number 15. Okay, this one. Page 14.
Okay.
Page 14. We're going to the really
which one?
Stuff.
We might actually have a duplicate here. Which one?
Me? This one is the Hoover-matic trap.
Yep, we actually had the same one here. Very nice.
No way. Okay,
yep.
I thought this one was so rude, and all I'm imagining is the entire party about how unfun this would be. The devilish, dwarfish mind of Todd Deason was responsible for the Hoover-matic trap, which takes great pains to prove the effects of a partial vacuum upon dungeon delvers. The delvers enter this room through its only door, which will slide noiselessly shut and lock behind them once the last party member is inside the room. The door fits flush into the wall and will be very difficult to rediscover. The room itself is lit by a strobe light. The floor is 3 feet deep in gold coins.
The walls are made of black basalts, smooth and featureless. The ceiling is difficult to see due to the strobing lights. As the delvers greedily pack up the riches, the ceiling will begin to pull away from the floor. This causes the room pressure to change naturally, making the air incredibly thin by stretching it out, because this room is an entirely perfect fucking vacuum. The air will be thin enough. This causes the room pressure to change, making the air incredibly thin. After about 6 to 8 minutes of this treatment, how the hell would anyone even wait that long?
I was gonna say, like, why would anyone stick around?
You really think, like, you really think they're sticking around that long? Like, everybody he's asking, all right, where's the door? It's like, there is no door. Where's the door we came in from? We'll just leave, I guess. There is no door at all.
You son of a bitch! I know there's a door. Where the fuck is the door?
We came through a door. What are you talking about? No, it's gone. The air is getting a little thin. I hate you. Find the door. Right? Okay, so after 6 to 8 minutes of this treatment, characters will probably begin to faint. After 10 minutes, the air will be thin enough to kill the unconscious characters. Sputtering torches or lamps, the fainting of small animals, and delvers might have brought along a feeling of pressure in the ears, or the fact that the characters are dropping dead right and left will probably tip off the characters. Maybe, players
hey, Susie,
are stupid. Maybe
your squirrel companion seems to have fallen over dead. Oh no, he's just having a nap. It's fine. What about your dog? Oh no, he's napping too. Oh, okay. What about your chul? I feel perfectly fine. I don't breathe like you all. I
actually don't even. I was gonna say, I'm like, he does. I don't actually breathe, so I'm. Oh my god, I'm not affected by this dungeon at all.
Mm-hmm.
My Warforged would not care.
You would be perfectly fine. Mm-hmm.
I would actually be a hindrance in this room because I'm probably radiating a lot of heat that is sucking, destroying the air in this vacuum already. Holy crap, I'd speed up the process. Yeah, also 10 full minutes? Isn't that insane, Exile?
That's huge. That's like...
Do you have any idea? Yeah, that's
60 rounds of combat for reference out there.
Yep.
60 rounds. Like, if it takes you 60 rounds to find the door, your DM's just being evil. Like, okay, yes, he's already being evil throwing this at you, but he's being more evil than evil.
A minute is 10 rounds. This is 100 rounds. Because 6 seconds times...
Oh, I can math. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It is 100 rounds to figure this out. And I would ask and force the DM to be like, no, we're going round by round now. I'm treating this as in combat encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, what was he going to do? Not acquiesce?
Yeah, like...
Be a dick?
Yeah, I was
going
to
say, acquiesce, and we're going to have it solved.
Because I think the only solution is that you have to find the door again, which isn't that big of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But what I loved, what made me pick this one is for that little bit at the end where they say, if they appeal to the gods for something to breathe, feel free to fill the room with poisonous gas. Haha, isn't that fun?
Isn't that great? Wouldn't your god absolutely do that to you?
I'd be looking for a new god. I don't need.
I'd be looking for a new game master.
Well, that too, but you know. Oh.
All right, well, you gave it a try, Doug, and I don't think you're a good fit. So, why don't we try having you come back as a player next week? Really, just kind of drop this stuff. You know what? Why don't I just talk to the group first, see how they're feeling about you, because this was really rude on you here. So, yeah, we'll see if you're a good fit as a player.
This is Doug's origin story, where he got trapped as a child, and he's just getting his revenge on the world, but has led to him being an old and lonely man filled with regret. Man, sucks to be Doug.
Yeah, kind of sucks to be Doug. All right, final. So we both are on. Oh, that was your 10th.
Yeah, that was my 10th. So the last one is yours.
And of course, I've saved one of the worst ones for last. It's another eye situation. This one is known literally as the eye-catching trap. Page 55.
That just sounds evil.
It's
this one.
It's not.
This one.
Yep. So once more, from the horrible mind of Mike Stackpole, heck to you, Mike, has developed another way to deal with peeping Toms. The eye-catching trap is very similar in appearance to the Swordbreaker, but the consequences are much more horrible. Set in a wall, perhaps partly hidden by intricate stonework, are 2 eye holes. If a delver pierced through them, he will see what lies in the room beyond. Fill the room with something that will interest the adventurer. Anything from enemies to treasure to dancing girls should do the trick, right? Because that makes sense. Dancing girls in a dungeon.
Totally makes sense.
What if the character's gay or agendered? We're in the 80s. Doesn't matter. Everyone's straight and dude, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also gonna say white for that one too. Let's just
I was gonna say that would track. Yeah.
The trifecta. Why not? Inform the character that he could see a little of the room, but if he moved closer to the holes, actively goad him into launching the trap. Goad him into launching the trap. If he could move closer, he could probably get a better view. After all, trying to peer through a small set of holes from a distance is something like looking through a telescope held some distance from the eye. Get it? Oh, the previous eye trap was a telescope that fucking shoots into your brain, is it?
Yep.
You get the joke.
I was there.
You see what I did?
God damn it, Mike, move on.
If the character moves in closer to get a better look, the pressure of his forehead against the stone wall will cause a section of the wall to move slightly, dislodging the spike on the other side of the hole to swing freely down. The whole assembly will swing down into the eyes of the delver with predictable results. For added cruelty, the pokers can be made of barbed wood that will easily break loose when the character jerks his head away from the hole in pain.
Because it wasn't bad enough you're getting stabbed in the eye. Let's make it out of barbed wood. Yeah, this guy has a thing for eye piercing. Like whatever Stackpole has going on in his mind, dude, seek help, please.
Why is it not a 5-star deadliness rating? Again, I don't know if it's just me, but I really
I would agree. I think this should be a 5 as well. Yeah, I don't know.
So what have we learned here? What's our takeaway thoughts for this here? A final closing.
I think we've learned that Grimtooth is a bastard, but I do want to lead. Actually, let me see if I can find it real quick. Is that Grimtooth? There is 101 trap here, and I'll read it out. I'll let this be our outro. So okay. Grimtooth ends this entire book by saying the 101st trap. As a postscript to my collection of traps, I offer you, dear reader, a sample from my own personal stock of Delver Destroyers. This is a rare moment indeed. Never before has one of my traps ever seen the light of day beyond my own personal cesspit. Oh, hey, let me see if I can say this right. Kansaki's board. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I want my characters to get a piercing, the DM. That shit. Yeah, pretty much. Where was I? Have seen the light of day beyond my own personal cesspit, where only the foolish and the death-doomed have thus far ventured. Still, the publication... So no one, yeah. Still, the publication of this tome of traps is a rare thing, and thus is deserving of such final performance. Wizards are a nosy breed, and will often probe and poke about in places where they have no business. I suppose I cannot blame them for this. A wizard's nature is as very bit inbred as a sheep. Like, holy shit, like, really?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, so not only that, but, like, fuck this guy. Wizard's my favorite class, you piece of shit. Literally drop into go... And I hope that you drop into several of your own traps that lead into each other into an endless circle of your own traps that will just forever punish you. And you regenerate the whole time to feel every fucking stroke of violence that you've hurt onto others.
It gets better. But it still sets my blood ablaze to learn that some pesky magicer has been reading through my personal effects in search of some new and esoteric bit of thaumaturgical knowledge. In the eyes of a power-hungry mage, every dusty book on the dungeon shelf is a volume of spells, even if it is merely a collection of phone numbers of favored companions. Like, okay, all right, cool.
What?
Positively deplorable. Like, why would you keep phone number? Okay, never mind. Thus, I have developed the trap which I now reveal to you here. The preparation of this trap was a long and trying one. I had to search the world all over to find the precise ingredients which were required by my plans. Everything had to be just so. After a year of careful searching, I had compiled the necessary ingredients: the ink of the rare purple devilfish, a tuft of hair from a blind gibbon with no lungs, the wishbone of a duck, the intangible innocence of a newborn babe. These and other items I mixed together in a great vat, shut it away from prying eyes in the deep recesses of my pits. Like, holy crap, like, really?
In his underarm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Accompanied by the tolling of an iron bell, I uttered the words of the softly spoken magic spells, a moment of cosmic tension, and then finally, the deed was done. Like, dude, you're casting a spell. You're not, like, ending the world. Get over yourself. But here's the kicker. The reason that this whole thing has been written out. The resultant potion was a clear, odorless one that proved undetectable when spread upon almost any surface. It dried to a thin, almost filmy consistency within a few moments. The film would remain undetected on the surface to which it had been applied until such a time as human hand touched it. The oils secreted by human skin, you see, interact violently with the potion, and when the two come into contact, this results in the film regaining viscosity in the form of a fast-acting neurotoxin, contact poison. The poison enters the victim's body in a matter of seconds. Painful death follows usually within a few minutes. As a demonstration, I've taken the liberty of coating this page with a measure of this potion. By now, the poison should be well within your system. By my calculations, you should have just enough time to replace this book on the shelf where you found it before you pitch over in frothing fits. The rest is unreadable because of fingerprints printed onto the page. But just imagine the dude just goes through everything we just covered and ends on that. The fuck?
Yeah, wow. So he even hated the people who bought his book.
Yep. Which,
I mean, like,
again...
haha, goofy joke and everything for it there, but at the same time, like, honestly, I'm glad that he... I don't know if this sold well or had an audience, but I'm glad that if he did, I'm sure they would have gotten a real big kick of him being like, haha, and I killed you.
Right, I mean, it's one of those things where, again, in the 80s, this was probably like, oh, this is rich, I can't wait to do this to my group. But no, these days, you pull even one of these traps that, again, hasn't been, dumbed down, or not even dumbed down, I don't think it's the right word, but made less lethal or made more fun. Revamped, yeah, that's the word.
Revamped? We just even did that earlier today where we're like, why don't we take some of these really obscure Omega Deadly and turn them into like a fun kids theme park ride where it's just like, it's got the edge of this like, oh my God, I plunged and the reality itself shook as the entire room jilted downwards and into a ball pit? Huh.
Well, that's the thing, is that as Tape Player said, I will give him props. He committed to the bit, and he carried it through the entire thing. I will give him props for that.
You think the reason you don't want to publish this is that he'd be locked in an asylum if he did? I also don't like the wording and everything for it there of like what he's implying about how he has this like the cesspool of where he lives. Like the dude's might have a little bit of self-loathing issues, but like at the same... Like, all this does is tell me that this guy has some problems that he needs to work through. Again, it was the 80s. Maybe he was going for a theme. Maybe a bunch of the books in the 1980s were written in a similar manner. I do recall of the tomes that I have perused through. Back when I was checking in and I viewed some of the older AD&D books, I recall out of nowhere, in a section of it that was explaining fall damage and how fall damage would be calculated, it bursts into a story about, now listen, I know that this isn't realistic, but this is the way that we're going to be doing it for the sake of the mechanical system. Yes, a human can survive horrifically high falls. Take, for instance, the odd case of so-and-so who survived a 3,396-foot fall from a plane with no parachute or way of interacting other than them just hitting the earth. And for some reason, they still survived the fall, and then goes through the story and explains like the man's life and like the whole ordeal and everything for it in like 2 paragraphs of full detailed story of this off the cuff, let me tell you why this has no realism, by this use of an actual person's, like, here's this, and I forget what they're called, when you insert just like a small footnote, but like it has nothing to do with anything else. An aside, a tangent, this strange tangent out of nowhere, into just a very cool, very interesting story about anecdote. Thank you. You didn't write anecdote, but I know what you meant, tape player. An anecdote about this man surviving a giant 300,000 foot fall with no parachute, and how humans are amazing and we can do insane things. But that just came out of nowhere, and I thought that was so fucking 80s and so fucking like interesting, and how probably in a modern book you would not see.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that. It wouldn't be in there.
You would not get that, because in a modern book it's all sanitized to be exactly what you're supposed to be looking for. Except unless, of course, you're reading a World of Darkness book. Then you're going to find out nothing, and it's going to be fluff text about some bullshit ERP nonsense that I really don't need in my life, and I just need the rules. Please later book betters. Holy fuck, White Wolf, I'll kill you. But
in game, in real
life, in game though, just in game though, in a game called Real Life. It's a game though. Don't worry about it. But yes, it like the newer both Pathfinder books and 5th edition and whatnot are sanitized to really, really focus on this is exactly what you need, this is the details. And these older AD&D books, aside from possibly having some bad layouts, were just chalked together with these really weird, quirky bits, and it just was in there. But at the same time, I'm also glad maybe for a bit of the sanitation, because one, it gets right to the point. You find everything that you're needing to find. We've at this point sort of cracked the code on how the formula will work for where we can get our information, and we don't waste the player's fucking time. But it was cool to see these anecdotes and these sort of features. And what isn't cool is discovering the bad stuff, where you'll just go in there and it'll be like, hey, in this AD&D book, we're just going to say that women are just outright worse. So feel free to give a penalty to just somebody playing. Like if they're in real life
-4 strength penalty,
-4 strength penalty or something, just for choosing the gender of woman or something. As we all know, men are very vastly superior in these games. So just go ahead and just bring that sexism in there. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
It's definitely something where they were written for the time, and they don't necessarily translate to today's world, is what it is.
They weren't even written for the time. I think that's just a shitty viewpoint.
I mean, that too, but to me, it's not so much that
the rest of you, when everyone else at the table is also a shitty, closed-minded asshole,
right?
And
right. Again, you have to remember that you have to remember the context of the average person that was reading this, where yes, we can objectively say as people in 2021 that this is bad shit, you shouldn't do this. But back in the 80s, there were edgelords that lived on this kind of thing. They're like, oh, I feel engaged. And I think that's what led into the satanic panic. And this is a whole tangent we don't need to go on. But that was the whole thing, where you'd have, like these dungeon or these basement dwellers that were getting together and reading spell books, and that, it's a thing.
Yep. They just went down there and they were rolling some dice, and everyone thought they were like, there's no way grown men would do this and like spend an afternoon evening in a dingy basement rolling some strangely colored dice. They're obviously doing black magic. Because no one can believe that grown men would play make-believe, because that's how closed-minded and boring people were back then. They were so boring, dude. Holy smokes, am I glad that I was like not alive in some of the earlier parts. Like I think the 70s might have been a bit fun, but also at the same time, like what I would just got high on drugs a lot. And
I was gonna say that you kind of switch one
really
devil for the other.
Yeah, well, I just get high a lot and have a lot of unprotected sex. Like, what am I gonna do? Peace and love, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, gotta love it. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, that was our top 20 picks, or I guess top 19, because we had an overlap, from Grimtooth Traps. Again, if you want to check out this book for yourself, go ahead and link it there in chat. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way through if you're watching this on YouTube. There is a link down in the description that you can check this out for yourself. Any final thoughts before I end the YouTube recording, Beno? Anything you want to say to the viewers out there?
Despite everything that we've been through, all the naysaying, all the like, hey, this is how you shouldn't run stuff, this is how anything forth there, we walked away with a ton of really cool, really fun ideas and got to make a little bit of a mini role play inside of this list because this list exists. Yes, it's got some insane, goofy stuff, but every piece of material can be useful if spun the right way. All you have to do is just be creative enough to take a tool that exists and appropriate it, mix it up, and change it to fit whatever you're looking for. And inspiration can come from anywhere, even from some crazy mean boy traps such as Grimtooth's traps. So if you feel like you need a bit of inspiration and a bit of edge into your dungeons, then maybe consider picking up a copy. It's probably pretty goddamn cheap because it's definitely old and not popular at all.
It's like $3 or $5 on drive-thru, I think.
That is $3 or $5. We got $3 or $5 to spend, and you feel like having a dash of inspiration that some comically, like you just getting the idea and having ideas form in your head from the antithesis of something that you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. This is a good bouncing point, because if you know what you don't want to do, it'll help you find out what you do want to do and the way that you want to set things up in your way. And that's what we did here. We saw what we didn't like, we spun it, flipped it, and reversed it. What is it? Whip down, that song with the Gwen Stefani or whatever.
Roundabout, you mean?
Whip down, pick up, and reverse it.
Oh no, you went somewhere else with that. Okay.
Yeah. Gwen Stefani, baby. Either way, if you need inspiration, be it from a good place or a bad, give Grimtooth a shot. It was pretty neat, and we had fun with it.
Yeah. All right, well, Twitch, stick around, but YouTube, again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later, YouTube.